start in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Jump it off.
And even in this instance, if I could be a service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Give me the red pill. Give me the red pill, Noop.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Nothing.
But can I trust you? That's the question. Whose truth are we talking about? Your tooth, my tooth, his tooth. Here's a rebound. Tooth. Tooth fairy. Absolutely. I'm just a kid from Chicago. And if you look at the big picture, you know, if you look at it in a grand universal scheme, I'm just a kid from Chicago. If you look at it from a micro, you know, just from the greater Chicago area, I'm just a Chi-Town kid. No matter how you slice it. I do believe that the co-host is much the same. Trying a new look, back up off the camera a little bit, so I'm sure you men out there will appreciate it, but for all the women viewers, you know, Kay, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. Enough of me, because we can do this for 4 hours. Welcome to Chi-Town's very own, the Self Luv Show. We got 2 mottos in this building. The first one is on earth, exactly like it is in heaven. Our second motto is as above, so below. Right now, we can be found Malcolm exclusively only right here on YouTube, on this channel. This ain't that network. This ain't Fox. This ain't MSNBC. This ain't none of that. You name it, this ain't that. I promise you that this ain't that. When they ask you, hey, is this, you know, a cooking channel? This ain't that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I want to know about real estate. Not every week. You ain't going, no, this ain't that. I want to hear about the drill scene in New York City. Yeah, well, this ain't that. Not week after week. Promise you that. Chicago people got more things to do than blog about the whole world. Or do we? I don't know. Chicago kids are coming though. Anybody want to yap about what's going on in our backyard? Maybe I'll start yapping too. Huh? Yeah? No? Yappity yap, 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 yappity yap, yap, yap. But here we go. So, as you know, this ain't that network. We refer to this as TATN. Huh? Huh? TATN. Yeah? I'm your co-host, Nine Mills, also known as Self Love. What down, Chi-Town, what down, what down, what down, U.S., what down to the world. Repeat after he, if you so choose. Because you're a universal citizen. You can do whatever you want. I'm reading your mind, ain't I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. Today is Wednesday, October 27, 2021. As always, you cats can be any place in this magnanimous universe, thankfully, from the chest of one of the best. And we all Scooter chose, big ups to Scooter chose for this song right here. That we all Scooter chose to be here together. Here, here, together. Yeah. Chi-Town kids in the building. What down, brother Word Smith? What down? What you manifesting today, sir?
Love. You know me. Manifesting love. What you manifesting?
You know me, bro. Pure, unfettered, unfiltered, often harsh, many times tough, but when you look at the 360, oh yeah, you're gonna summarize it and say, man, that was love. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. So what's been going on in the backyard, bro?
Weather has been crazy. It's been raining. Started a leak in my roof.
Oh,
so,
man.
Gonna have to get that taken care of expeditiously.
Is it have you pinpointed it, or is it you got to have people come take a look at it and properly assess it, or you have an idea of what's going on out there?
I got an idea. The flat roof, water sitting up there. It's leaked there before, but not in a long time. It got patched, and I guess the patching didn't hold.
Hey, well, you know what I mean? There's worse things, fella.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got up there and swept the water off best I could, and it's gonna stop leaking, and then get somebody right out there.
Absolutely, man. And I know because we even out here in Cali, bro. Believe it or not, man, we finally been getting some rain, and that's how it comes. It'll come, and people will whine about the drought, and then they'll whine about the mudslides and all of the buckets and buckets of rain.
With it.
Yeah. If and when I get up there to heaven, I hope to be next to Yahshua and those guys. And while everybody's down here whining, you know what I mean? Can I pour more buckets of water on them? You know what I mean? No, you keep that up. We're going to send you down there. You know what I mean? Are you sure? They want more water. You know what I'm saying? But big ups to everybody. And we all, as always, we really appreciate your support. We appreciate you checking in with us because the Self Love Show is nothing without you. Hey, big ups to Nathan Lagarde. He's out there. Black one, B1,
yeah.
Black first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great show too. My goodness.
Magnanimous. Before we revisit that, I just want to give you guys what to expect today. As always, we're going to go over the quote of the day, and then our proprietary more growth and development video. All right. Tattoo tyranny. We normally run a short video. We'll give you a piece of tattoo tyranny, and that's coming from the Gestapo, which you may know as the biggest gang in the city. Some may call them the police. You may call them 12. It's been other names. But we're a respectful show, and we know a lot of folks who are in law enforcement. And so we tend to say, if you're violating the oath, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the oath. I'm not talking about that oath you took with the devils. All right. We'll move forward. All right. But yeah, if you're those guys, that's what we're talking about with tyranny. How to move or not to move. Normally we'll pluck out a video that's trending somewhere and we'll ask our community, is that what it's about? Is that what we should be doing? And then we got the dome teaser. I'll suggest a riddle to the Goyim, to the 85ers and also the 5%ers, 10%ers, whatever, subset cohort group you may find yourself in. We'll give you a dome teaser and we'll see if you can't. The emphasis is on can't. Type up what the solution is to that in the chat. Today's topic, we're continuing our series on deceased rappers, individuals in entertainment. We all know that rapper is a code. Whenever you hear the word rapper, you substitute the N-word for that. Start doing that, Self, and you'll see where I'm coming from. I'm serious. It's the same. So it's it's a little cold there, but we're talking about dead rappers. 187 bars is the title of our series. Powerful series. Yeah, it's powerful. And today it's the Notorious B.I.G, who was Biggie Smalls, but then he had to change his name. Rest his soul and condolences to his family. Then we're going to head over next week's sneak peek, and then of course my favorite part of the whole show is when we wrap it all up with Self Love's Tory Wordsmith's final words out there. And just real quick, we got some announcements. Self, you got any announcements, bro?
Just want to say speedy recovery to my man Mike from the D. Speedy recovery, baby.
That's right. That's right. Get up into your chi, heal yourself. You'll be up before you know it. And that's coming from a co-host over there who's, got knocked over by a car, run over. And so, you know what I mean? That's right. You can do it. You can do it. I hope you're watching it.
You got this.
Yeah. Give you a big thumbs up. All right. Now, my announcements, I got Mouthpiece included. That show is picking up some momentum. Tomorrow we're going to cover Ben Simmons, the curse. Is it a Kardashian curse? Moreover, we're just touching on labor versus management and ownership, what his rights may be. He did sign a deal. The Illini, 9 overtimes. Football, 9 overtimes. Wow. I didn't see any of it. Didn't watch 1 second of it. Big ups to the Illini. And that's all I got. You guys make sure, please like, share, comment. Let's fill it up. If you believe in this content, if we got some good stuff we're going to uncover today about the B.I.G., but enough of my flappity flap, flap, flap. You know how the podcasters do stuff. I'm going to start flapping about everybody's business in the streets from city to city. Flappity flap, flap. I'm going to throw it over to Self Love so he can, handle the business.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Share far and wide. Come on, y'all. We need to expand the Self Love Nation, and we need your help to do so. So have some like minds and put them up on this information. It's great. We're working on doing some new things. We're going to have some new way outlets, but we need you to help us out. As always, we got a very important video we need you to watch, the More Growth and Development Program platform that we're building the Self Love Nation off of. But before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. If you don't love yourself, I'll make you see your own heart. If you don't love yourself, I'll make you see your own heart. The Notorious B.I.G. And check this video. My people's something going on in the background out there. What's going on with this out there? Out there.
You got some
already?
You good?
Yep.
It's production.
It's all right. Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1. Repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9.
Ah,
Close the gap between us and our pink
closing the
kinsmen.
gap. Absolutely closing the gap.
All righty.
Yeah, big ups to all the gap closers, huh? Financial gap closers.
Yeah, we gotta get it closed. Got
Hey, and we got a number, we got another number 10 on that growth and development program we haven't added yet.
He's right. Is to protect our women and children.
Facts. Stand up and man up. Facts, 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 facts. We have to be of pure, not pure, but clean mind and clean spirit and handle our business out there. You know, it's only one life. It's only one life to live. So Black lives don't matter if they don't matter to who?
Us.
That's right. Facts. And that's right. And that's just to Black men out there. And if it, you know, we have to make our lives matter to those who aren't Black men.
Facts.
Even if that means Black children and Black women, we have to make our lives matter to them. Where does that start, Self? Making it matter to who?
Us.
Facts.
At home and then the community and, you know, out from there.
Yep. Yep. Couldn't have said it better. So, all right. So, yeah. So we got, if any of, we got some hip hop historians, we want to hear from you. So, yeah, man, as you were going into, we had Brother Lagarde, Nathan Lagarde, big ups.
Big ups. Gym Factory.
Facts. Actually, you know, rolling up his sleeves. I think his program's been going on for 9 years, his camp.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, just definitely a member of the Give Back gang, definitely giving back to his community, positive, you know, influencer within the community. And that's where it starts.
Facts. Greatest importance on the school board, which, you know, helps direct the course of the education. That's very important.
Yeah, and he's doing it for the free. Well, you know what I mean. We believe in karma and universal stuff, and
it's currency. So
yes,
so he's bringing his current to the table. He's gonna get some currency back.
Well, I guarantee you, if we really had more time to unpack it, because we went over 4 hours, he would tell you, "Oh, I've come up from it." You know, not that he's trying to come up from it, but he's probably met people and been on the golf course with them, and you know, they were in the school board, and now they're doing business, or you know what I'm saying. So that's what you're saying about currency, huh? So
yes, facts.
Yeah. Maybe he's come up in other ways, you know, but who knows? But here we go. We got we're gonna jump kind of to the tyranny thing here. So yeah, Self, I know have you been watching all of the stuff in the news here about the folks, the Americans walking off their jobs, bro? Quitting?
Nah.
Yeah. Quitting. After the mandatory unemployment ran out.
Wow. Let's check it.
I just quit my job.
It's an epidemic.
I am done.
Americans are quitting their jobs in record numbers.
Attention, Walmart shoppers and associates.
Walmart employee Beth McGrath resigned over the store's PA system.
This job, I quit.
And she has no regrets.
It's been great.
I want $1 raise.
This dude
$1,
says
bro.
he quit because the auto parts company he worked for refused to give him a $1 an hour raise.
This is my last week here, and this is my way of quitting.
4.2 million people quit their jobs in August alone. That's up 15% from 2019. The trend, so widespread it even has a name, the Great Resignation.
Life is short and we should be doing what we are passionate about.
Flannery Pendergast just walked away from a successful career in advertising.
I wanted to go on a road trip, right, across the country and just figure out what was important to me, what is my purpose, what would make me
Wasn't that called a vacation in the
happy.
past?
Who can blame the working population, since I think people have been rethinking their life and their life choices,
Only if
where
you
they
plan
want
to
to
come
work,
back.
where they want to be living. And it's a great jobs market. We have more than 10 million jobs available right now, and you're getting paid more. Wages went up close to 5% to last month.
Restaurants and hotels are bearing the brunt of the
Ooh.
great resignation. They're seeing the highest resignation rates.
Yeah.
7% of restaurant workers have quit.
When the pandemic first hit and shut down the restaurant industry, a lot of people did not come back for all different reasons. They went to different industries, they had health concerns.
He's a truth
It's
teller.
a tough business.
Disgruntled workers are also taking to the picket lines. 10,000 John Deere employees just went on strike, joining 1,400 Kellogg's workers. And 20,000 nurses in California just voted to go on strike next week.
There's a lot of choice out there. And that's something rare that we haven't seen in this economy, where workers actually have more power than the companies.
Now, you know, one thing I want to say is this. There's been a lot of hubbub also in the mainstream in Big Ups the Inside Edition, you know, about them not being able to find employees. And the best way to not be looking for employees is to pay the person an extra $1 an hour if he's worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
it's a bunch of hogwash, really, because the
Mm-hmm.
once they were able to work on bare minimum
Mm-hmm.
numbers,
Mm-hmm.
that's where they want to stay at.
That's where they want to stay at.
Yeah, so it's a farce that a lot of these companies are actually
True.
looking for employees.
True.
They're not.
Correct. And Self, you remember they started automating the because
Oh,
you
man.
and I mean, I don't want to date us, but we used to be able to walk in a store. I used to be able to pull up in a gas station. There was a guy there,
Yeah.
you know, full service or self-service. Hey, get away from
Yeah.
my car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, Self, you know, there was there was just times, man, when you know, there were times, bro, you know, I'm not too old, is what I'm trying to say, is when I went to a grocery store and or a department store, and there was a person there that took the tags off and folded it nicely and put it in the bags and removed the hangers and thanked you for your business and things of this nature.
Yeah.
And then, Self, they moved to the automation. Remember that? And you can do it yourself, you stupid slave. Remember that? But it's going to save you money. And they ran the lies over it's to your point. They ran the lies all over to the media, all over the media, all over the
Oh,
media.
no.
About, it's going to lower the price. It's going to lower the prices.
Never lower no price.
It's
Less
got us
people.
doing it.
There are less people in there working. Them people
They got
be in
us
there
doing it.
humping.
Yep.
And then you can go
Yep.
right up there and go blink, 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 yourself and get out of
They
there.
got us ringing it up ourselves. They have us doing the work that people used to do. Those were
Yes.
jobs for people.
Yes.
The prices, but that would be okay if the prices came down, because
Yeah, they-
you know, but they never do that.
No, they don't. They just full of it.
They're just full of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing ever comes down. But you know, we'll move past that. But did you have anything else to say on that video there, fella?
I'm just not shocked. People were like, they were handing out money, so you know, I don't want to work for it. And then some of them are like, wait a minute, been off all this time. I don't want to do this crap anymore. Try to figure out
Well,
something different.
There's a movement in this country. So don't think that all those people crossing this border, right? The southern border, okay, by droves. And then there's a, you know, what do they call that? Problem, reaction, solution. And then they're showing in the media these boats in the port of Long Beach and off the coast of this and that, backed up. Nobody to do the work. Americans don't want to do it. And they're letting all these people come in. Huh? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
Same
right,
thing they did
lying.
with the farming, with the agriculture jobs. They say, Americans don't want to do it. And they're going to say, Americans don't want to be waiters and waitresses. And they're going to say, Americans don't want to do this and that. And they're going to say, and we can hire them for less and your prices are going to go down. But what's going to happen, Self, about the prices going down?
Still going to go up.
It's still going to go up. They're going to flood them all into the public school system and the healthcare system. They're going to flood them all in there. And your little black kids are going to be in there elbow to elbow in there struggling. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's a play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely a play.
Yeah. So, yeah, but then before we jump to the topic, bro, there was one last one we run, man, and that's this is the one, how to move or not to move. Did you hear about Grandpa?
Nah, not at all. Let's check it.
Grandpapa do.
Watch out, here he comes. Meet 81-year young Yoshio Kinoshita, one of Japan's newest skateboarders.
Yeah.
Yoshio picked up his first skateboard at a market selling unclaimed items from a train just 2 years ago.
Started at 79.
Yoshio took it slow. He could only stand while holding on to the railings. But he soon got the hang of it and is now able to glide around the park with the other skaters who are a quarter of his age. But this does not bother Yoshio
I'm going to
at
hoop
all,
tomorrow.
who hits the local skate park 5 or 6 times a week to learn new techniques from veteran skaters who are even younger than his grandchildren. He thinks they're brilliant and even asks them to teach him tricks. You shouldn't worry about Yoshio falling because he's not. To him, this is a way to prevent dementia. Rather than zoning out, he thinks skateboarding improves the ability to think even by just a little bit. He believes it's a sport for the elderly, proving he's never too old or too young to pick up something new. And when the retired former technician is not at the park, he's working part-time as an attendant in a bicycle parking lot. It's Team Yoshio over here. Go, Yoshio, go.
You probably selling them
Inside
packs
Edition
too.
Digital. I'm Stephanie Officer.
I bet you, and Yoshio's got those packs too. I bet you, and he's also pushing those packs. Hey, big ups to Yoshio, man, because hey, Self, man. I mean,
Huge ups to him.
Skateboarding. I mean, is that how to move? Is that good for the community?
Yeah, I mean, he's an example that could be followed. I think it might be kind of dangerous for 81-year-old, but if he doesn't, I mean,
Well, he's saying that fear is a lie. That's just what he said. He just said it. So, you'll be 81, Self. You can fall. I'm sure there's people telling you at your age it's dangerous for you to be hooping. You know what I mean? But I mean, you've been doing it. But they say what they say. Yeah, they say what they say. You do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I think being 81 itself is probably dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's crazy, man. Like that this man, and bless his heart, man, can, start doing that. That should be motivational for us all. So
at 79, pick up a skateboard.
Can you imagine if a team of 20 seniors went riding through Parkway Gardens? You know what I mean? Is what that would do for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it would do something to the youth. What over there and taught those kids how to skateboard, do something besides what?
Sell drugs and shoot.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Come on. It's a better way. But off the soapbox. So, so would you summarize? That is how to move, and I'm going to agree with you, Self Love. That is absolutely, positively how to move. So, on to the dome teaser. Self Love, and to the chat, what disappears as soon as you say its name? Have we done this one? I think I considered it.
I have heard it before, though.
Okay. So you got a thumbs up?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So he knew that one. All right. I'll have to try to find some more obscure ones. All right. So into the chat, what disappears as soon as you say its name? Let's see. So we'll move on. So enough of the appetizer, Self Love.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, so we're here to talk about the notorious B.I.G. I must say, as I embarked upon this journey of the research, you never know what you don't know until you start peeling back some layers and everything. And I had a my understanding of this great silverback has he wasn't a silverback, but he was a giant, has changed. I mean, I always loved him and had him in my top 5, but just my understanding. I wasn't paying too much attention to the whole thing. If you want me, I wasn't paying as much attention I wasn't reading Vibe magazine and the other one, Source, et cetera, et cetera. So, but we're going to jump into it. We're going to talk about the B.I.G, his early life in hip hop. So what do we know? What do we know about B.I.G? What do we remember about when he came to the scene? I'd say I remember his first album, Ready to Die. I didn't hear too much about B.I.G prior to that.
Yeah. Actually, we went and saw the promo tour. It was Craig Mack, Biggie Smalls, well, Notorious Big, and Usher.
What's the antecedent of the pronoun we?
You, me, and Jazzy. Trinity.
Was that the one on 50 over on at the Operation Push?
Side. It was on the north side. Operation Push was Raekwon and Ghostface.
Yeah, I know every show I went to got turned out because I think was it Biggie who threw down the 5 or something, and then it got turned out, or was that Ghostface? I know.
Oh no, that was Ghostface. The promo tour actually went all the way through. It just wasn't a lot of people there or a lot of hype because he was new. He only had one song out.
Okay.
Craig Mack was actually the bigger.
I do kind of remember that, man. And
Usher
Jazzy wanted to see.
Usher was 13.
Yeah, and Jazzy kind of wanted to see Craig Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Mack was much better on stage at that point.
I never bought into Craig Mack. First of all, I mean, no homer, but I mean, it was just too much acne. And, you're going to sit here with all this acne on your face and not rap about it. You know what I mean? My name probably would have been Bumpy Face or something. I mean, then I would have respected it more. Just come on out with it. As cold as he was, big ups though. He was cold. He had some songs I like, but he was like, he did vegetables. I never really knew what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But big ups. That's not a knock on him. It's a knock on me. I never too much knew what Craig Mack was talking about. And I'm sure if I go back and listen to it as a grown man, I might appreciate it.
If you listen to it now, I'm sure you would, because you listen to some of this stuff that's out now. So.
But you guys have to understand, I mean, it was just so much great music at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, not just hip hop. It was just so much great music, man.
Period.
Yeah, you still had Michael Jackson and Prince sliding around on the stage. You know what I mean? But doing splits and what have you. But his early life, man, but just really his early life, but pre-hip hop, B.I.G, from my understanding, he left school. He left high school at an early age. I would say after his freshman year. And then he started pursuing rap, but at the same time, he was a lumpen proletariat. This is by his own words. He was a street poet and also entry level dope pusher, if you will. He got caught up. He caught a case as a juvenile with one of his older buddies. And Self, you can fill in any of the blanks because I'm just going off memory. I think he came in, there was some case, a robbery case or something, weapon. They got caught with a stick, and his buddy took the walk for him. Yeah, he said everything was his. Yeah, he did that for Biggie, and he told him, pursue your dream. You know what I mean? He told him, you got a talent, you got a skill, Yeah.
Yeah. I almost forgot
Wonder whatever that, we should never have forgot that. Wonder whatever became of that brother. We have to look him up, Self, see if we can get that brother on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be bookable.
I can't think of who that is. He's not actually not one of Junior Mafia, is he?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so, but we can ask the chat. I mean, they may know if you guys know. But as far as his early life, there was some interaction with the late great Tupac, right?
Yeah. They were like actually
Biggie
close.
was a roadie. Yeah, he lived with Pac for a minute.
Yeah, and then Pac would stop his show and let Biggie get off.
Yeah,
and
get some bars.
introduce
Yeah,
him around people. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
yeah. They said Pac was a philanthropist like that. A lot of cats are funny about that mic, and Pac was trained to be funny about that mic, but they said he was more like, Vaughn. They said Vaughn was kind of like Pac in that generosity with the people he messed with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If he had it, you had it.
Facts.
So, yeah. So that, does get us into his early relationship with Pac. Now, I know they did a song together, didn't they?
Yeah, they worked together on several things. I don't know, all of them didn't come out, and after it went left, of course, it went left.
Smoke G said D-Rock. He said D-Rock took that walk for
Okay.
Biggie. Was he a rapper, Smoke G? And then so if D-Rock, yeah, man, we might be able to find D-Rock. I'd love to get D-Rock on here. He said he said Pac and Biggie never did a song together. So how did they released a song with them together? I guess that was just something they did after they were dead.
Gotta be. They performed with each other, but
yeah.
I seen them do freestyles and stuff on TV, but I don't know. Let me look this up.
I remember them performing together. You're right, but yeah, Biggie. I think his first song was it was a freestyle. So Biggie's first song was "Party and BS."
Yeah,
I think that was his first on his mixtape that started going. Let me see. You guys, fair use. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
How's the level?
It's good.
Let me go further though. Hey, I'm gonna show y'all. This is Pac and Biggie. It's Alejandro Santo Mills YouTube channel. Big ups. Y'all subscribe. He's got 290. Wow. So you said how they go from, well, I don't want to jump the gun, but we were talking about we are talking about their early relationships between Pac and so Pac was on before B.I.G. Pac was on before B.I.G. So
Right.
what was, how did Pac and Biggie link up? Because Pac, how? I mean, I thought Pac was from B-More.
It's hard to tell where Pac was from, bro. That he was from everywhere. Oakland, B-More, New York. He claims a lot of places.
Did you ever hear how they met? He said Pac was from New York, but okay, I'm from Chicago, and Kanye is from Chicago. Well, we did meet. That's a bad example.
Yeah. I mean, traveled kind of in the same circles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did
just
all
kind of
know
met up.
Yeah, we did all know each other. Yeah.
And then just kind of met up.
I think that needs to be looked into.
Yeah.
As I just know how the spooks get down. Yeah, I always say there's no coincidence, man.
Nah, but two cold rappers, will gravitate to each other, and if nothing else, and then if they feel each other, then it's like, okay, and we're in the same city, let's link.
Right, and then let's kill each other. Well, we'll get there. But I'm saying, you know what I mean?
One said something, one thought somebody did something, the other didn't think he had shit to do with it and didn't do anything, you know what I mean? So it was kind of one-sided. One never responded, never said anything too much.
I think how Pac felt, man, was, man, I'm supposed to be y'all mans. I'm with y'all. I get shot up. Y'all ain't even going ham. Y'all ain't even calling out the streets. Y'all ain't saying, man, we need to find these guys. Y'all ain't giving me no love. Y'all just being nonchalant, fucking cool and quiet and gangsters and all this and shit. And I think Pac was saying he expected more from that. He thought that they were closer than that.
Yeah.
And he was wrong.
Their reaction to him meant they were involved and complicit. That's what it seemed like.
Correct. They were nonchalant, bro. According to Pac, he felt like they were nonchalant about it. Yeah. So how are you nonchalant about your guy getting shot in the head in your studio, in your lab, bro? I'm asking you. And there's no place for that to be nonchalant. I'm telling people what know what I'm saying? I get it. You want to be, there's no place for that, man. You got to put the truth. Pac felt like
for the truth, they were working out that studio, but it was not their studio. It was several floors of studios in this building. He wasn't even scheduled to be in the same studio as them. They didn't even know he was coming. He didn't even know they was there.
Yeah, but that was like, there's a spot here in Santa Monica. There's a couple of spots where these celebrities go to. It's all Lumba Booty. You know what I'm saying? And if it's in your city, and I think at this time, well, I'm just saying, that's how Pac felt. And even when I remember, now that you're talking about it, when Biggie was responding to it, he was still nonchalant about it. Like, oh man, I don't know what he's talking about, dude tripping and Diddy and all them, and then they just moved on with their stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he felt like, man, I'm in y'all backyard and I got shot up like this. Y'all supposed to be handling this, man.
That's more or less what he said out his mouth. So yeah,
correct. I'm not from the street, but I could see how somebody could feel that.
I go to jail and I come back. You supposed to be the king of everything now.
Correct.
And shit, you can't even take care of some shit in your own city.
Man, or at least put word out that, man, that was foul what y'all did to dude, man. Something. But Biggie, it was bigger than Biggie. That's what Biggie.
And Biggie said that shit he tried to tell Pac. That's what he said. He said people he was hanging with and around, shit.
And those robberies, Self. I was listening to King Von. It was an old video. He just got out of jail. And this dude was on Instagram, like telling one of the gangsters, yeah, I'm gonna be with Dirk and I'm getting some of the rappers. I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? He's like, they don't be expecting it. He's like, but I can't tell Dirk because Dirk don't be on that type of shit no long. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he's like, yeah, that's when he first got out. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be getting. So yeah, it'd be people hanging around those studios that you as an artist or whatever might have really nothing to do with that.
Right.
Right.
You there doing work.
And those are stick-up kids. Right. Right. Looking for somebody coming in with gold chains and stuff, and they don't care who you are too much.
They're sitting outside watching like, oh.
They might have been waiting for you because they knew you like to walk around with the gold chains.
Right. He's going to come here eventually.
But Pac did. He thought they set him up. But I think towards the end somewhere, he retracted all of that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think
it was Death Row putting all that in his head. I think. No, I don't. Allegedly. That's the last thing I need. Death Row was probably, telling them, man, those guys are we're going to take care of you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which would make you ask questions, who really robbed them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. I'm a conspiracy theorist, I've been told. All right. So we did the early life, man. Unless you had something to do, something to add to that stuff, we'll move to the next segment.
All right. Let's move to the next segment.
All right, so we did a relationship with Pac, Ready to Die. Now, I remember you went out and copped that album. I remember that. I remember that. You copped that album. Now, I did cop the second one. Let me tell you something before you tell me why you copped it. I'm going to tell you why I didn't cop it. You can give me a close-up here, Sarah. Ready to Die. And Self, you tell me, you stay off cam, but tell me anywhere where you think I'm being inaccurate. Ready to Die dropped, and he had a line on there that said that some girl that he was courting looked so good it made him want to suck on her, and I quote, father's penis, end quote. And everyone said, oh, man, that was the dopest metaphor ever. Right? That's fine.
I never said that, though.
No, right. Nothing. Me, I said, what, who, why? And then you look at Diddy, but you look at Diddy.
He said some very hold on, I gotta be on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna hear this. Go ahead. Please.
He's said some very questionable things.
You
in
think
his
Diddy had something to
lyrics.
do with that though? Hey, we want to add this and we gotta add that.
I'm not sure if Diddy had anything to do with that.
He did have some
He
penitentiary happy.
he had some guys around him. I
That were-
understand that, you know, they flowed a certain way.
Yes. Yeah, it came out
So,
later. You're right,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yes.
So, you know, he also said that he knew somebody that would kidnap your kids and F them up the butt.
Correct.
So
And it was that vibration, man. It was a lot of that on that album, bro. And even the beats, I was like, man, that is vibrating just. Even for me at that time, man, I was just like, I just wasn't feeling it. It was like, bro, like the way I wasn't feeling like Eminem. You know, I just wasn't feeling it, man. I felt bad. DMX be another example. One of his albums, man, yeah. Another one of them albums, everybody, I'm like, I don't feel none of that. It's not a knock on the artist. I just don't
Right.
feel it.
Right.
Now talk to me about, okay, was it the marketing? Was it Diddy jumping around in the puffy clothes? How did you?
What made me get it?
Yeah,
was
Ready
some,
to
it was
Die.
it was some lyrics on one of the songs. I was just like, okay, this dude, he got some skills. You know, I never heard of him before, and it was well before I heard those lines and those songs. You know, actually, you know, I got it. The second single might have been out or something. You know what I mean? By the time I got it, I didn't.
Diddy was
back
right there when he
it first
wrote
came
that.
out.
Like, yeah, bang that. You know what I mean? Self, where you be in the lab and somebody be like, man, I'll mess you up. You can, you know, but go ahead. But Darth Maul said Diddy has always been suspect. Hey.
Yeah, I'm suspect.
I mean, you know, teach his own, choose the mobile phone. But yes, you're right about that.
Say
He had a
one
good time.
thing,
He had a good time
and
down
do
there.
another, then it's an issue.
Well, he was down there at that black school and he called himself Puffy. All right? Right, Self? I mean, come on.
Puff Daddy, and then Puffy.
Correct. And we're talking about the roaring, you know, late 80s and 90s people, and that's when it was okay to be toxic and masculine. Wasn't it, Self? Wasn't so okay to call yourself things like sweet cakes.
Man.
You know, and Lil Nas X. And Nas, you should have sued Nas, but you went and did a song with him.
What?
Yeah, they got a song together, man. It's got millions of views, bro. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I didn't tell you that. That's why I was telling you. Remember I kept telling you though, like Nas, remember I was like, he's breaking my heart, but I didn't tell you that part. Yeah. I was telling you other stuff. Like I expected him to say more, the George Floyd and all of that, but he did it in his music, and I respect that. Yeah, I respect that. But yeah, man, he's billionaire status, Self, and I think we all know what that means, right?
Yeah.
You get back there in that room and you what?
Do what you're told out there.
Yeah, there might be kids watching. Yeah, joining the Illuma booty. All right. So Ready to Die. Self broke that down. Let's see if the chat's got some. Ready to Die, y'all. Let's hear some commentary on Ready to Die. I mean, was that good for the community? You know, we talk light. We talk real slick in the tongue about today's drill music and some of the music of you know, some of these young men that they're dropping. You know, but if you go back and listen to Ready to Die, you come back and tell me if it's food for the community. Now to Biggie's, and this is what I said at the top of the show when I said my research on this, I gained so much more respect and love for the man. Because to Biggie's defense, he had an arc. And one thing about Biggie, I don't want to call him the best storyteller ever. Because, man, we'll start talking about Slick Rick. You know, when you start talking about that, and they don't talk about Dana Dane. They don't talk about him. There was some storytellers out there, boy. But Biggie was top 3 greatest storytellers ever. You know, Biggie would tell a story. And the thing about Biggie, I guess it was kind of like Vaughn. Maybe that's why we loved him. Biggie was speaking the real. And the reason I say that, he said in an interview when he came to Cali, which I probably wouldn't have had him out here, he said in that interview that he, his second album, he didn't feel so comfortable writing about grimy street type stuff because he said he wasn't living that no more. And I said, okay, I got a respect for him because he was truly telling his story. And the second album, he was telling the double album, he was telling the continuation of his story. And had his story not been abruptly ended, only God knows where he would have been going with this. Yeah. So
young man too. 24, 25 years old. 20,
yeah.
20 past.
Yes.
Man.
And so that means when he wrote Ready to Die, he was probably 21.
Yeah.
He's probably writing that over a lifetime, and and he has seen things I hadn't seen. Now, Nathan said Biggie did a lot of compromising when he paired with Puffy. Yeah.
Facts.
Yep. And I think it was Puffy that had Biggie having that laissez-faire attitude towards his boy Pac when Pac got shot like that. I think Puffy wasn't feeling Pac. Pac was probably calling him suspect, and because Pac wasn't the type to bite his tongue.
No.
It's my understanding.
Yeah. Nah. Not at all.
He'd probably be asking Biggie, like, why are we here with all these guys? You know what I'm saying? Right there in front of Diddy, and Diddy to, just if he is a homosexual, that doesn't mean you're soft. It doesn't mean you're not a killer. It doesn't mean that you don't have, you know what I'm saying, Self. And I've seen some homosexuals, let me tell you, to the point where, I don't try to fight those guys. I ain't scared. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But they could do some Dennis Rodman type stuff that, just mess up the whole, you know what I mean? I'm trying to fight you and you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This guy, you know what I'm trying to say? No. Yeah. I feel like I'm digressing. Yeah, we'll get back. We'll get back on topic. All right, so here we go. So the Ready to Die album, Self. Now I don't want to trip though. Now I didn't finish. You bought the album and I left it. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you did tell me, you were telling me about the production on it, Self.
Yeah.
That's what you were telling me. You were much more into the production at that time, and you were talking about the production values of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We need to go back and look and see who did all that music and everything. And yeah.
It was nice. That's for damn.
He said he did a lot of compromising for Diddy. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Compromise.
I mean, he did. He stopped being as hard and all that. Did some, slower songs and lesser bravado.
Absolutely.
His first song. Shit. What was the name of that movie?
Who? Biggie's first single?
Yeah. If you don't know, now you know.
Was that it? I think I like that one.
Yeah. But it was
Baby,
still
baby.
like a slow. Yeah, it was a slower. It was all a dream. Word Up Magazine.
Oh no, that wasn't his first. That wasn't his first big single, was it? I thought that was on. Was that? Okay. Oh my God.
Maybe I'm blending everything together.
Yeah, because if that was his first single, then I would have bought Ready to Die.
Pretty sure.
Ain't no way in hell. Y'all, please tell me that. Nathan said Juicy. Juicy was Biggie's first single?
The first single, yeah.
Oh, well, it's justified you going out there and buying that single justifies going out there and buying an album by a long shot.
I think it was the second one that when I bought it though. And we saw his
What do you mean? Juicy wasn't the first single? Or?
Juicy was.
Okay.
I think it was the second single when
that
I bought
confirmed it. I got what you
that I bought.
Yeah. But go ahead, bro. I gotta drop this link in here.
Yeah, that we bought that I had me go and get it. I'm like, I can't think of the second single, but yeah, Juicy was the first single. And
get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Maybe I was just too big of a
that was very much Puffy thing. Puffy did that one.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Did that album drop before or after the first robbery and the shooting of Tupac? Maybe that affected me.
4, I believe.
Maybe that affected me.
Hold on, let's-
Was the beef already ramping up? Were we already choosing sides?
No.
Let me drop this link in here. Hey, you guys, we're going to drop the link in here into the chat. Feel free to pull up if you, most of us have lived it. We're about lessons, not lectures over here. Oh, my fault. I didn't realize my cam was still off. So I'm going to pin, I just dropped it in there. It's a Zoom link. You can jump on in there. Smoke G, click it. If you guys want to chime in, feel free to be on topic. Dropped it in there for Smoke G. Let me pin it. Fraggle Rock. Stop it. That's me. All right, there he is. Let me get my other me out of here. This is some bull.
What's the business, Diesel? Can't hear you yet. There we go.
Wait a minute here. How come
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you now, bro.
All right. Yeah, no, when I seen the topic, I said, I got to get in, man. I studied him and Pac's they whole thing real hard, so I got like.
Let me ask you that question that you probably didn't hear then. Ready to Die. So there was already no beef when Ready to Die dropped. That was Ready to Die dropped before Pac got shot in the head.
Yeah, they were shooting the warning video in the same studio that Pac was going to meet. What's the guy's name? Pac was going to do a song that Jimmy Henchman set up for him to go do that night with I forget the guy's name. It'll come to my head as we talk, But Biggie was shooting a warning video on a different floor with Junior Mafia was there, Puffy was there, but Pac session was supposed to be like on the floor, I think.
Wait. They were shooting a video or were they recording in the recording studio?
No, the song was already done. They were like doing some things, setting up, doing the video for the warning song. That's what Biggie and them was doing in the studio the same day.
Oh, okay. And Pac just happened to be there, and then Biggie said, "Man, I heard my man got shot." Came down there, and that was it. So they wasn't there together.
No, Pac was on his way there to do. I think his name is Lil Sean. I could be wrong, but it's Little something. He was on his way to do a song, and he told Jimmy Henchman, "No, you got to pay me cash." He was like, "He ain't doing it unless you pay him cash," because they was already. Him and Jimmy Henchman and those guys who he was in the studio or who he had been hanging with, they was into it because he did that interview with the news saying, "Where them guys at? Where they at? But you got me in there." He's like, "No, I ain't trying to put," that video that he's famous for talking to the press.
Yeah.
So he was hesitant to go there and do a song with him, but he needed money. He was like, "No, I'd do it. You give me cash." And then and that's when he seen little C's out the window. "Yo, Pac, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'll be up there." And then they robbed him. That's when it went down in the hallway. Now, Biggie and them, I don't think he knew nothing directly.
Has anybody ever talked to the robbers before? Hold that thought, and I want you to go there. But do y'all know if anybody's ever talked to those robbers, those original robbers who robbed them? Have they come out? Because you know how like Benji Wilson's killers have been talking and all that. Have they come out and said, "Yeah, that was me"?
Yeah. One of them for sure. One of them for sure.
So what's he saying about it all? Was he part of the Luma Booty? Was he working for the CIA? What's his story?
No, he according to this one dude who was with him, Dexter.
Because we're here to get to the bottom of why these rappers are dying. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, it was Dexter Isaac was the guy.
Street level thug.
No, he was a street dude, a real street.
And why did he say he did it?
Jimmy Henchman paid them. He said Jimmy Henchman
did it. So it wasn't a simple robbery. Jimmy Henchman paid them.
Jimmy Henchman paid them to rob Pac. Now they wasn't supposed to shoot him.
They were supposed to put some pressure on him.
For him to shut his mouth in regards to that case.
Wow.
Because at that time, Haitian Jack and Jimmy Henchman and all.
And this is allegedly. He's reporting what he heard.
Everything is alleged.
Right, people.
However, this ain't alleged.
Come looking for me.
However, this ain't alleged. Jimmy Henchman admitted to setting up Pac for the Quad Studio shooting. He's in prison now for some other stuff, but he admitted. You can look that up. He admitted that.
Whoa. What do you mean the Quad Studio shooting?
That's when Pac got shot.
Okay, so he admitted that he set him up at that. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he admitted that.
Wow. But see, so now Jimmy Henchman, though, when you get to those levels, street levels, and this is for the kids, well, not the kids, but anybody 13 and up who might be living in the community. You know, when you get to those levels of the Jimmy Henchmans, the lines become really blurred. You don't know who's working for who at that point. So when you said, man, a caller like that, I was thinking all these years, man, it was just somebody on the come up, man.
Nah, that was set. It was set up, precise,
wow. Now
calculated.
Your name is Mills.
The only problem was Pac had his gun, and he wasn't gonna just try to let them take his chains and rob. He tried to, and then that's when gunfire went off and everything.
It's been alleged that Pac shot himself one of the time too.
Well, he was hit 5 times, and one of them might have been from himself, but he definitely was hit in the body like 5 different times.
So the guy said, did he say anything about what Pac said or what happened during the robbery? The guy who robbed Pac, like what? Did Pac say, "Screw y'all, go to hell, y'all ain't taking my chain"? Was it all about the chain? What was it?
It was more or less from what I've read and all the interviews I've seen. It was Pac went for his gun, and when he went to pull it out, some of them say, "Oh, he shot himself like in the upper thigh on his own."
Yeah.
But those dudes started shooting at the same time. He's actually was lucky that he didn't get killed right there. And then if you remember his Vibe interview with the magazine. I got all of them. Hold up, I'm gonna show y'all a picture of him too. Where he was saying how his boy Stretch was in the elevator with him. And he was like, Stretch was towering over them ninjas, and he ain't do nothing. He ain't make a move.
Right.
And Stretch is like, nigga, they got guns right there. What I don't care how big I am. What I'm gonna do with these niggas got guns on? So
that's how I tell you how Pac was built, though.
Yeah, and Pac wasn't the only one that got shot in the elevator. It was another dude too. I think his name was Freddie something, if I'm correct. But another dude got hit.
We don't want to spend this on Pac. We did him last time, but out of respect to the B.I.G.
But it's all related.
It's definitely all related, and that's why we touched on it. But I did want to back up a little bit. What's your understanding of how they first got into interaction with each other, man? Like how Pac and Biggie met. I mean, you just saying that they from New York. That's a big city.
Okay, so you remember Pac's in the Bay with Underground, and Underground, that's how he got put on basically.
Yeah, he's a roadie.
Then he drops his album, Tupacalypse Now. So, but because he was originally from the East Coast and then moving to Baltimore and everything, he still listened to all hip hop at that time. So, he would listen to all of that, and I can remember one of his guys, I forget who it was, from the Bay, said, man, we were driving one time in the Bay, and he said he kept playing Biggie's Party and Bullshit over and over and over, like he just loved the song.
He said Pac kept playing it.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how they knew each other like that, other than Pac, loving hip hop or whatever. And, he knew all of the people in New York, you know what I'm saying? From even his time with the Underground and everything, he knew all of those people in New York. A lot of those people knew him. Before he even did that Me Against the World album, he knew a lot of those MCs and rappers out there.
Yeah, man. And so like Biggie, man, like for me, bro, like I was saying earlier, he kind of just came on the scene. Like, I'm trying to remember. It was almost like he just got forced on the scene almost. I guess that was Diddy's magic.
Just didn't hear him here in the Midwest and stuff like that until Puffy did that first album. You see what I'm saying? Right. But he had a buzz, at that time, there wasn't really a mixtape buzz, but there was. It was more like a mix, like a cassette mixtape buzz. as opposed to mixtape CD type stuff that we got used to later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had some buzz in the, out there. And but John Q. Public, which would have been us back then, we didn't really get put on until when Puffy dropped that album.
Yeah, he had to have that buzz though. I guess if Diddy would have even been messing with him, right? Because Diddy was making a name for himself in the industry.
He did. You remember he dropped the Craig Mack and the Biggie
Notorious
song
yeah.
on the same thing. It was like on the same disc. One side was Craig Mack, one side, and Craig Mack was the bigger artist.
Yeah,
that's facts. We saw them here. That's absolute truth.
I wasn't too impressed. I mean, if you want me to be honest, I mean, I got to tell you my history. Yeah,
impressed with Craig Mack than Biggie at that time. I'm like, what the?
I don't remember Biggie, man, because I think when he came up there,
he stood there in the middle of the stage.
I thought Biggie did some gang stuff and ran out.
This was a promo tour. This was like album was just coming out. Flavor in Your Ear was the big song. Juicy was
Victoria. Yeah, I keep thinking about when we was on 51st, man. We was on 51st.
51st. That was
got one of them rappers that throw the five down,
that was
man.
Ghostface. That was Ghostface.
Place
or Raekwon. Raekwon or Ghostface. One of them did that.
Yeah, not a smart move, man.
Man. That place.
Just like Pac when he was here one time. I think he was at the Regal. And it was around when that Yummy Sandifer stuff happened. And he tried to address the folks at that party. And they was about to tear the place up.
Cause he was speaking out of pocket, man. Folks don't like all that talking. Who is that? That's Tupac. And what he talking about? He a rapper. You know what I'm saying? You know how folks get, boy. They get to come out of nowhere with the shoes on, them dress shoes. Hey, but Self Love, man. We're gonna take this to so if you want to handle your business, hey bro, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute halftime, but you got it, Self?
Yeah.
And then we'll be right back. Stay with us, Diesel.
All right.
Thank y'all for being here. It's always a pleasure. We appreciate you so much. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and let everybody know what we're doing. Today we're breaking down our series 187 and the murder of Christopher Wallace.
Man, R.I.P. B.I.G.
Yes, we'll be right back with
you. Speaking of Yummy Sandy Pfeiffer, rest in peace, Yummy. Yummy must be in the building.
This is real talk. This is real life. 16, a shooter story. At 2, I knew I was scarred from birth when I rode in my very first hearse. At 4, the floor was too cold to sleep on. At 6, it was a light switch going back to school with last year's kicks. At 8, it was too late. Learned to love for hate. Couldn't wait for the jabs about my kicks. Punch them right in the face. At 10, they called me sin. I seen the sign, shooters welcome, they brought me in. At 12, it was hell. Spent a year locked up in jail. At 14, the means was running out. Blood in for life, the screams was coming out. At 16, caught the case. Adult charges that I face. I wish somebody could take my place. If I complete my case. I was born a man. The world made me a shooter. I wish I could have learned you can't win this war with guns when the weapons are a new technology. That's why we have the word. No justice, no peace. 16, a shooter story.
Everybody, we're on the 9 Network. We out here social distancing.
TATN's first video.
I'll upgrade my technology in the next day or so that the videos are better. But as you can see,
pandemic had just started.
The Inglewood community is not rioting. The Inglewood community is standing together at Doolin's. Black owned, black operated. And I don't see anything on fire. I'm bringing the news directly to the people, one step at a time. So,
facts. Get you some Doolins. You'll come out there and say, I've had way better
we're
food.
At Doolin's.
Big up.
Excuse me, sir.
They'll give you plenty of it.
Can you sit down in there?
No.
It's takeout only.
That's it, that's all.
Okay.
It's all
yeah, so they social distancing.
At the window.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir. So they social distancing at Doolin's?
Be bland.
Oh yeah, look at that. Social distancing at Doolin's.
They give you a lot of food though, people.
Inglewood, right on the corner of Manchester and LaBrie.
Shovel it in there for you.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro.
They're so ignorant.
Ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy
and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. Try for Mack.
He ain't lying, y'all.
Cut that up a little bit. Woo! This far. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Self Luv Show. 187 bars, our series on murdered rappers. And today we are breaking down the murder of Christopher Wallace, aka
R.I.P.
B.I.G. R.I.P. And we've gone through like early life and, you know, then his relationship with Tupac. And we're going to talk about some other things and probably break down what happened.
Man, I want to give a big ups to DJ E. Prado.
Yes, sir.
Giving us some perspective on it as well. And a bigger ups to everybody out there in the chat, because you know, you take it everywhere you go. As Trife Mack says, you can go anywhere.
Anywhere.
And you're going to be the one when you're done.
Yeah.
Let's end all the generational curses, y'all.
We can break them all.
Anywhere. All right, we're going to jump this back off because I know y'all like, man, that ain't Biggie. But that's Trife Mack. He from Allgale Gardens, right? Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
He sat with
One
us.
way in. Yeah, one way in, one way out. That's right, the King Motel. All right, so we're going to jump off, as Self Love said, the second half of this show. We're going to talk about the tenets of the East Coast, West Coast beef. You know, we're looking at this now. You got guys on this panel who were there at the start, during, you know, and we're going to get into how that affected us. And then hindsight. You know, we're all going to play Captain Hindsight and look back on it all and analyze it. We're going to touch on faith. Faith is still with us. So we'll touch on that a little bit. Faith and Pac's role. And then also we got the media role in the beef. I mentioned Source Magazine, you know, Vibe, things like that. The kind of messaging like we was getting off MTV and BET and from the rappers themselves. And we're going to touch on Diddy, Suge Knight's role in the beef. Did you rep East Coast or were you a West Coast rapper? And then why was B.I.G. shot? Who shot B.I.G.? And that's where we're going to wrap it up. So let's start out with the label. Sorry about that, y'all. East Coast, West Coast beef. That's where we're starting. So you guys, can you unpack the East Coast, West Coast beef for some of the youth who may be hearing it from other youth or, you know, hearing it from people who may not have broken it down the way we could? What was that all about? Where did it start? And who were the benefactors?
Well, I can tell you that from everything that I, you know, watched, read, and so forth, it was really two labels against each other. It wasn't really coast against coast. It was Bad Boy Records against Death Row Records. And a lot of it was just, you know, even like kind of like today, you see like, well, I don't know, not really like today.
Well, for context, that's how it started, those two labels, right. But people started jumping on the bandwagon, which I think where you were going, because it was clout.
Yeah.
To choose a side gave you clout.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest thing that, to me, that ignited all of that stuff is when Suge's boy, Big Jake, got killed in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. When he got killed in Atlanta.
He didn't get killed. He was shot by Puffy's security.
That's killed. That's killed. Yeah. That's murdered, shot, however you want to say it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I like to give context.
Well, I was gonna get to that. You know, I didn't get a chance to get to it, but yeah, he was once he got shot and killed by one of Puffy's security.
Diddy's right hand man.
That's what set it all off. That's what took it over what it was, because it wasn't up at that point. It hadn't been nothing physical or anything,
and that was before.
Pac
or Biggie got killed.
Yeah, Pac was still in jail. He was still in jail.
Right. Something jumped off inside the place they were at. Right, and then Diddy's security took that shot and killed dude, and that was Suge's boy.
Yeah, Big Jake. He was from I think Campanella Park, Peru.
And Diddy's boy didn't do time for that because he was acting as a security guard and they gave him self-defense or something?
No, I think it was like, no, it's street stuff. You know, they ain't no witnesses, that type of stuff. You know, street stuff. They ain't gonna say, oh yeah, he did it You know what I mean? It was a street thing. So you ain't gonna
It's
go
still
tell
well
the
known that
police
somebody's dead.
but they know who did
They
it.
know
But
who
they
shot
just
it.
nobody's
They
gonna
do. They do.
So it's an open case. Because as I'm looking at it on the internet, and I'm like, everybody's saying this guy did it. So we're saying we don't know that. So it's alleged that.
Say alleged, but how are you gonna prove it? You know, to know
Right,
that
well,
he did
yeah.
it, you still the police. You know, they
But
need
the way I
witnesses.
was looking at videos, not y'all guys, but everybody was saying that he did it. So I'm like, no, I think it's known that he did. I think there was a police report. Are you sure there was
Yeah.
no police report? Because he went to the hospital and they had to answer questions. I thought that made the news. No?
No, I don't. The guy. I mean, you know, the guy who allegedly did it is dead. So. So you know,
It was street stuff though. Yeah, I know Suge didn't say much about it. Yeah, Suge didn't talk about it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have had a hard
Suge.
time convicting them without witnesses. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah, they don't handle it that way, allegedly. So.
And if I'm correct, it was at a Jermaine Dupri party. Because Jermaine, you can look up and see Jermaine Dupri talking about it, saying like, oh, you know, after the fact, you know, years
after
later.
the fact. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that was at my party or blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but ain't no statute of limitations on murder, so.
But the guy's dead. So
the guy's dead.
So it ain't nothing to be telling on. He gone. So.
Oh, I got what you're saying. The guy who allegedly shot him is gone.
It's gone.
It's
So
very,
to
very
be talking about it,
it's very convenient that people that are alleged to be the shooters of Tupac and Biggie are
all gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. As we keep talking to get into that,
we are gonna get into it. Even some of the investigators, as I'm sure y'all know, are gone. I'm like, wow. I was looking at
the original one in Biggie's case.
Yes.
Yeah, he died. He died, came back because he had retired. A year before his he quit. A year before
and then wrote a book.
Yeah. And then he was right when they was trying to they got Big Keefy D. They was like, all right, we're gonna jam him up. He said, get him to talk about the murders or whatever. And he died telling them that.
Yes, heart attack or something there alleged.
Yeah.
All right, but it could have been, hey, you want to drink this? You want a cigarette? You want a cigarette? You want this and that? All right, here we go. Hey, kids, say no to all of it. All right, so here we go. So the East Coast, West Coast beef though, y'all. How did it make y'all feel? I mean, what did y'all claim a side? I was in Chicago. I'll tell you, for me, I didn't too much care. I didn't look at it though, like I could tell you this way. Initially, I didn't look at it as the white man. I didn't see it as the society putting us against each other as usual. But if you look back on it, Diesel, it was a lot of that going on. Meaning they'll sit them down in a source interview or an interview and ask them, what's your stance on this? They were all asking all those people, and you had to choose a side. And then Pac got to the point where you got to choose a side. You got to choose a side. You remember that? And yeah.
And if you remember at that time, MTV was still real big at that time. And you remember they used to do those news updates every couple of hours.
Yeah.
And you'd have that guy come
those.
on, and him or Sway, but it usually would be the white guy. And he'd say, update on the current East Coast, West Coast rivalry and that sort of stuff. And he'll get to talking. So
they was already
in their head.
So it was a Vlad TV, or what's the other one's name? They were doing that already.
Yeah, they were doing that long before.
Yeah, DJ Wackademics.
Long before the MTV updates.
So I think those guys were everybody involved in that.
Look, can you see this?
Mm-hmm. When will it end? Look at that. What's the date on that?
This was at the Biggie died. So this is put it in
no, I gotta put the month and the year on there, I think.
May of 97.
May of 97, yeah.
Wow.
And I got the one,
and it said, when will it end? I think that ended it.
Yeah, that was the end of it. And this was the one, the source one. You don't hardly see this one that much when Pac got popped. When he was dead.
And that's what I think it's all about. I think it's always all about that. Views, clicks, There's
also another point that I would like to make. The law of attraction is real. And if you see death around the corner and things of that nature,
ready to die.
Say you're ready to die, or life after death. and shit like that, and you're extremely popular, it's said 1,000,000 times to 1,000,000 different people, somebody gonna kill you. I mean, it's just they talked about it too much.
Yeah.
This language we speak is a spell, and words have power.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then there's something to be said too, that who's saying it, because some cats be saying it because they know they know the karma. You know, some cats be saying it because man, they know that, man.
But you know what doesn't get said enough is that, you know, a lot of people push the narrative or the motive more so towards Death Row and Pac, because he was so mad when he came out, especially when he got out of jail, that they were the ones who were pushing the East Coast or that beef. But a lot of people forget that when Snoop and them went to do that video for New York, which originally that song was giving homage to New York.
Right.
And and Biggie went on the radio and said on the radio in New York while they was there to shoot that video, and said, hey, y'all gonna let them come into our town and blah, 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 blah. And
that got shot up too.
But see, that's the type of rah-rah. That's the type of rah-rah Pac was probably looking for after he got shot up. That's probably all Pac was asking for. You see, you got this kind of rah-rah, you can go get on the radio and get this type of rah-rah. But you can't, get that rah-rah when your mans get shot in the head, self. You know what I'm saying? And this is your city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they shot up they trailer.
They shot it up. They shot up the shoot.
Both of those was on orders from Diddy, I bet. Back to the influence that Nate said Diddy had on them. Diddy was probably telling Biggie how to move, certain things he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, he could have. Who knows? I don't know. But
he's your employer at the end of the day.
Well, somewhat, because Biggie, quiet as it's kept, Biggie was gonna leave Bad Boy. He didn't have no money. He had no money. He let Puffy swindle him out of his damn publishing. All his royalties, like a couple of $100,000. Like,
because he didn't know what he didn't know.
Yeah, right. I mean, when you're young, you don't know, and they come and offer you some stacks, and you like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, take that. I'll make more music. Who cares? Yeah, I take it.
And they be having cases that people don't know about, and they be offering to make all that go away and give them that lawyer money. Fill in Vaughn, fill in, Snoop Dogg. They catch them, boy. They own them coming out the jail.
Yeah,
we're gonna get you this big time attorney, and you're gonna owe us. So we'll move past that West Coast beef. I'll just wrap it up with let's go to Faith and Tupac. So there was some allegedly people, and we don't want to stay on this because Faith is still with us, but allegedly there was a romantic relationship between Faith and Pac while they were married. I heard some guys on the internet, some of those guys who were one of Pac's guys, not the 40 Thieves, who were they? The Thug Life guys, saying that Pac smashed in the studio or something on Faith.
There's quite a few people from their camp, and not from their camp, that will say they smashed. So
yeah, like some on Biggie's side was saying she was bogus. They didn't say it in so many words, but they felt like she was bogus.
Yeah. And I mean, they're giving you like eyewitness accounts of, we seen her here. And
well, even if nothing happened, it's inappropriate because that's the op.
Yeah. At that time,
remember, she signed with them. Didn't she sign with Death Row? They was gonna do an album, Faith album or something. Yeah.
She signed with Death Row East. I think she signed with Eric B. He was doing Death Row East, and that didn't even last. It didn't. I don't think they put anything out.
Yeah.
No, Death Row East, because Pac was gonna be over there. That's how he was gonna keep Pac at Death Row. He was gonna be the
it could
CEO
be Death Row Mars.
Death
if
Row
that's my op, listen.
Eric B.
It could be Death Row Mars. If Death Row is my op, my wife ain't got no business signing nothing with him. It could be Death Row, the next universe.
They were
no business signing that.
They were. Yeah, I feel you, but they weren't even living together or any of that at this point when it was alleged. All this was alleged. They weren't even really together.
It doesn't make it any less foul.
I mean,
No, it doesn't.
It makes it. What are you saying? Go ahead, Self.
I'm just saying that, you know, a woman scorned will do whatever. You know what I mean? And goddamn it, you know, they weren't together, and she had a lot of problems with Little Kim and Charlie Baltimore and Biggie. So, you know, I'm not giving her any leeway or whatever. I'm just saying what is that's not being said. You know, it's still foul.
Well, the chat said
foul.
Nate said they were estranged, and he said Biggie was also publicly with someone else. And he said bingo to what you just said. Yeah, I'm just saying that you know, to be used as a tool. I mean, I could flip it. I mean, yeah, like you said, it goes to be said. Well, okay, she just needed the money because that was just, you know, all money ain't good money, man.
And you know what? I don't think she signed with Death Row. She was going to do a song with him.
Yeah, she was only
met him in the studio.
She got paid to do a song.
To do background lyrics and the hooks and all of that. Yeah.
It was a song. It wasn't signing to them.
Yeah, she wasn't on. She wasn't on the label because
that's what she was telling Biggie.
It would have never. Yeah,
but that ain't what the guys are saying. The guys are saying she was on a lot more than that.
Yeah, for sure.
But y'all, you know, big ups though to everybody. Big ups to everybody, because I wasn't there, and who am I to say? So, all right, yeah, and I agree with you guys. You know, if you got to make money, and hey, you know, who am I to judge? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. And like I said, naivete, your name is Mills. We're going to move on. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't been through the divorce and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so here we go. All right, so we move past East Coast, West Coast beef and faith, but that has a lot to do with that beef. I think that kind of ratcheted up a little bit because he made that song when he said, I effed your wife, which Pac made that song.
Oh, yeah.
Hit him up. Was that hit him up?
Hit him up. That was like,
yeah. He didn't say I effed your ex-wife.
1, 2, or 3, one of the greatest diss songs ever.
Well,
it's in the top 3. You can't
say you're a player, but your wife.
Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, wow.
Wow.
And you know, and I'm saying if that's true, that's all on faith. You know what I'm saying? You don't put yourself in that position. So it makes me kind of look, if it's true, it would make me look at her as just like either a rat or a gold digger or somebody just want to be famous. Because, I mean, seriously, come on. We've all had beef on the yard or beef here and there. And so you just got with that man just because he was my op. That's it. So that's on you. I mean, if that's what you want to, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's what you want to do. That's...
If it happened. If it happened.
Correct.
Right. If
Correct.
It happened. Because she says
if it did happen,
she's saying no, but of course she would because she would look
But
bad.
he's equally as bogus, though, for putting that in the song if it did happen.
Yeah.
Oh, at that point, he
he's
didn't care.
extra bogus if it didn't happen.
Yeah, at that
He
didn't
care because he thought they set him up for robbery. Right.
That's what, you know.
Gloves was off. Yeah.
Happen or not happen, he still said it. You know what I mean?
Correct. And she put herself in that position for it to be believable by being in the studio with them at that time and all of that. So that's kind of, you know, where I was going with that. So, all right. So let's get off of Faith because I did love her music and I kind of supported her. She went through a lot. She's always a victim. Our black women are always a victim. They've been through trauma. So, you know, for the record, that's what it is. What's the media role in the beef, you guys? We talked about that, but do y'all think that it was a money grab? Do y'all think that,
headlines on every magazine and the websites, everything. It was completely, man, they had fans, they had big ass fans like, let's make sure this flames up.
And what were our elders doing? What's going on? I'm not saying we would have listened to them per se, but were they out there? I know C. Dolores Tucker was out there, you know.
I mean, she was just against the music.
No,
period,
she was against the music, man. You needed people.
I know, y'all. I know.
You
Thank you.
Did you see how Farrakhan?
Thank you, guys.
How Farrakhan mediated Common and Ice Cube in there?
Yes.
You needed people like that. You don't need no people
But I
just
love you guys'
culture.
responses to her because that's what I've been telling. Because they've been like, she was right, and I'm like, no,
She was not right.
If she
was
wanted to go
wrong.
talk to Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson them in the background and had that conversation, I could have rolled with her. But to come out there publicly like that and use that platform to get yourself some clout and desecrate the black man and everything we did, I thought that was wrong and foul.
Hey, and
she never mentioned the record company. She never mentioned the KKK. Well, I mean, she mentioned it, but I'm saying it was just all about us. But go ahead, Self.
I got a problem with career
Rest her soul.
politicians. She's there.
I
got problems with career politicians, black, white, green, yellow, whatever color they are. You know, I feel like if you sit there that long in a system that you can't do shit in, then you're complicit with it. If you sit your ass there, you're getting paid for it, and the lobbyists are filling your bag, and you're complicit. So if you don't get out of there because you can't make a difference, then you're part of the problem.
I mean, Pac addressed her in one of his interviews. He's like, look, she didn't pull me over to say, hey, let's have a conversation.
Correct.
Let's talk about this.
Correct.
No, she go and try to blast the whole culture and the songs, and she don't even know you.
She was one of them ones who kicked off the black black woman kicking the black man.
Dionne Warwick was another one. She was bashing on it. You know, it's like,
Dionne was, but she wasn't as
blatant.
She was more respectful because she was from shot. Yeah.
You know, but they still, it's a certain way that you do it. How you're not going to reach the youth.
It's time and place. It's time and place. Like you said, Farrakhan would pull them people in and talk to them. Right. You know what I mean? And then he goes publicly and talks about the people producing that music and the people distributing that music and the people telling our positive young children, our positive young artists, nobody wants to hear what you're writing. Go back and write something more gangster and murdery. Right?
He pulls them into the same room, get it all ironed out, and then come out to the public. It's ironed out.
Correct.
You don't know all of the ins and outs of it.
But I'm
which
saying
is how we supposed to be.
He never or rarely comes out and just attacks black men.
Oh,
no.
I haven't seen it.
No, he don't do that. He don't. The one thing, they do not. They don't do that as a whole for the most part. You don't see them go out.
He'll speak on it. I've seen him in his. He'll speak on it, but he don't spend his time attacking black men. No, because I think he knows.
He'll check the foul ones to an extent. But for the most part, they stay on message and on point. They don't go in on you. If they do, it's probably behind closed doors.
And if you can imagine we were all on a plantation. Sorry to cut you off, but imagine we're all on a plantation, D's though, right? And we're sitting on this plantation, and the question, the white man or the master, the slave master, we're on the plantation, right, D's on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Well, okay. What I'm saying is, imagine, some people say we are still in slavery. So if we are on a plantation, Diesel, if we're all on a plantation, we would, when we're in the field after hours, when the overseer, when the master was back at the house, we would always correct one another about that foul stuff that's going on and about the coonery, right? Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We had that correction. No one's not saying we don't need accountability within our community as men, right? What I say all the time is you just don't see no other race airing their dirty laundry and attacking their women and attacking their own men, attacking their own children. If you find it, you find it on the internet anywhere in the world, Self, where you get people of any color just attacking their women and attacking their men. You find that where that's their platform. Find it.
Only us. Well, the feminist movement, the white feminist movement, attacks white men, society as a whole. But that's the only place I can possibly say.
They do it only to an extent.
Don't they? They don't. I don't get on the podcast and they're just they'll respond if someone does something that they want to cancel. But yeah, you don't just see them just going around and just talking about
feminists. These white feminists.
Well, I mean, here's an example. Here's an example. Take the guy Nate Parker, right? Nate Parker did the movie A Birth to a Nation, right? Played in it, played Nat Turner in it, didn't he? Yeah. They bring up his rape charges from when he was in college,
right?
Where it was
where it was thrown out,
right?
Yeah,
right.
him and his buddy with a
right.
chick that he was seeing,
right?
He beat the case in front of 12 a jury full of white women. I don't even think it was a black. It might have been one black woman on the jury, if that. But the jury was mostly white and had several women on it. And he beat the case. So
and
if
he's
he
had
beat
no
that case,
other problem since then. And he says she's been having a, tough life. But go ahead. Yeah.
She's actually the chick who it happened to. I believe she committed suicide.
See,
if I'm correct.
Yeah,
she died.
He was saying she had some issues, some psychological issues.
But they bring that up right when that movie was dropping. Got picked up by a film festival. They paid the most for it at an independent film festival at that point in time.
You're saying the white feminists brought that up?
Yeah, they brought it up right before that movie dropped, when it was coming out, to try to steal the buzz. But you take Ben Affleck's brother, Casey Affleck, who not only did whoever the chicks was, I don't know if it was multiple chicks or one chick, he settled a rape case with this chick. They didn't come for him like that. He still ended up winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
For what was that
them
movie?
white feminists, they tend to, I'm not saying it never happens, they tend to use us as the example of that shit that they're talking about.
They don't come that hard.
They tend to use us as that example of that shit.
What's his name? Weinstein?
I can't
agree.
Because I can't flat out think of no one where I says, ooh, that white lady be all over those white men. No, nobody jumps out at me like that.
Yeah, it would take your boy, what's his name, the quarterback.
But Candace Parker jumps out at you.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Take Roethlisberger, right?
Yeah, Rapelestein. Can we say? Yeah, 2-time alleged. Forcible, violent.
His stuff got swept under the rug.
And we got to get back to
always
Biggie.
do.
We got to get back to Biggie. This is a great conversation, though. It's a great conversation. Yeah, we did a whole show on Roethlisberger, though, on Mouthpiece Included. You guys check that out. Big Ben. But, everybody deserves a second or a third chance, especially if you're white and rich. All right, so here we go. So we talked about the media, and we don't want to make excuses. We all know we always had that up against us. So let's talk about the labels, man. You've been hinting towards this, Diesel. Diddy and Suge's role in the beef. We talked about, the security guard, rest his soul, who murdered dude's security, right? I remember Suge going on stage at the BET Awards.
It was Source Awards.
Source Awards. Yeah, if you don't, I'm on swole. And if y'all don't, probably on steroids, allegedly. Yeah. But if y'all don't want somebody dancing and jumping around in y'all video, because I'm too stiff to do any of that, even if I wanted to. I ain't got no rhythm or no kind of musical ability. But if y'all don't want nobody jumping around y'all video and doing that, y'all come sign the Death Row Record. Y'all come sign the Death Row Record West. Everybody, woo! Boy.
Now, hey, I can't, hold on. I can't let you clown Suge like that, because if you listen to all them people out there,
Big ups
out
to
there
Suge.
in your city, they'll tell you he was very smart business guy. He just got carried away. He went too far left. But he was a real smart business guy to pull off what he did and got to that point. He just made a lot of errors along the way. Like kind of like how you said how
if y'all jumping around, it wasn't. I was like, this guy. You know what I'm saying? It was like, shit, he was wearing all that red. I'm like, look at
it was said that he was talking about Jermaine Dupri.
He said Jermaine Dupri, but that's when
I thought he was talking about Diddy.
No, he was, but when Puffy and them pressed him in the club that night, like, hey man, Puffy was like, what's up with that, man? And he was like, all his guys, and he only there with a few people. He's like,
yeah, Self, don't be
he
believing
just
that
played
hype,
it off.
man. He was talking about
He just
Diddy,
played it
man.
off. He told him, he was like, yeah,
What
man,
he said out his mouth.
about
Everybody
Jermaine
knew who he
Dupri.
was talking about, right? Diddy was the one jumping around in the videos. And everybody
So was Jermaine Dupri. He was in every
but
every artist video. Yes, he was.
But he wasn't talking about Jermaine.
He didn't
That's
have
what
any
he told
beef with
Puffy.
Jermaine Dupri.
That's what he told.
So even if
Puffy
he
when
was
pressed.
suggesting, even if it was towards Jermaine Dupri, then I expect you to come out there and say Jermaine Dupri damn name, because everybody in this world know we got beef with each other. And if you're gonna come out there and suggest some shit like that, then guess what? You talking about me? Damn, who you think you talking about? There's that.
Yeah, he was
That's
talking
all
about
I'm
Puffy.
saying.
He was
Yeah,
talking about Puffy.
everybody
You
knew
can
who he
watch.
was
You
talking
can watch the interviews of people from his label who was there. And
Yeah,
they'll tell
the
you
whole
he was
crowd
talking
was
about
like,
Puffy.
"Ooh, man, that's when the East Coast, West Coast beef was at its crescendo." He had all the, I don't want to call them bloods, but there was people up there wearing red all over the stage. I was like, man, Suge, the real deal. I didn't know how much of it was scripted. I'm like, man, is this scripted? I remember thinking all of that.
He took Danny Boy up there with him. He had Danny Boy up there with him. Like, come to death row.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, man, I was like, they didn't let the GDs in the dough, because that's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. But yeah, no, I ain't dissing Suge, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know.
No, I'm just saying that he was a real smart business guy. He just got carried away, and once he got carried away, he never stayed on point after that.
I heard that he was almost he's not dead. I talk like he's gone, but they said he's almost like a sociopath. But they said he truly loved Tupac, bro.
Yeah, he did. They said he did. He did. He really did.
Yeah. People close to him said that was really like his little brother, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he did. That's why he wasn't gonna let him. You know how you hear them people saying, "Yeah, Pac was gonna lead Death Row." Nah, when he told him he was gonna run Death Row East, it was gonna be like kind of like him, Eric B. would have been like him and Dre over Death Row.
I see what
when
you're
it
saying.
first started.
You still got your own, man, but man, stay in the family.
Yeah, Pac was gonna make a crap load of money. They're probably gonna give him like up front, probably like.
Well, why didn't they just have Pac start Bad Boy West?
But why would you do Bad Boy, man? That's their bullshit right there.
No, I'm just saying, bro. If you're trying to make peace and send a message, they should have come together, and we're gonna get there. You know what I mean? And they all say that in hindsight. I'm playing Captain Hindsight. We all can do that in life. Thank God. My grandmother, my great-grandmother always used to tell me as a boy, the race does not go to the strong, the swift, the high, or the mighty, but it goes to the one that endures to the end. So you can be a quick burning flint, or you can be a long burning flint, but it's choice. But so you would tell anything, y'all want to add anything to the Diddy Suge role in the beef?
Other than Diddy to fuel it more, so for him to be able to go to Cali, he hires the Crip guys to start coming to functions that they were doing on the West Coast.
Yes, he hired some muscle.
Them. He hired them. So to like, and
they said Diddy wasn't about that life.
No, he was more like pay a dude to be about that. That's about that life.
Correct.
To watch it.
He was affiliated. I think Diddy was affiliated because did he come up in the projects or did he come up middle income? I think he was middle class. How did Diddy come up?
I don't know. He wasn't in the Jets, but if you listen to Gene Deal,
he seemed like a slick.
If you listen to Gene Deal, he said they put him down with his crew, like they street crew. And
Diddy might be a spook self, allegedly.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, he's more likely to pay a dude who about that life.
Of course.
But he did have those dudes out there.
Track K100. Track K100, running around with everybody from Florida. Now he's everybody's manager. I thought Track was from Shot, man, all that time, so. Like, you mean to tell me this dude's, how in the hell, we're off topic. And we'll save that, though, because this is a whole series, y'all, 187 bars, and we're going to get up to the Chicago rappers. We're going to cover that. We're trying to go in order. We can't, when you hear me say rappers, substitute N-word, because that's what's going on here. When you're reading these articles now, you've learned something. You can take it away with you. When you hear these people say rappers, they look it in your face and they're using the N-word, and your lips are poked out, and you fall right in line and start talking about them damn rappers too. Like, what does that mean? Do we say them damn countryers for the country artists? Do we say those rockers, them damn rockers? Do we say that? Huh? If a rock band came to a hotel and let's fucking trash, let's get trash, fucking trash play, huh? Fucking ain't trash play, huh? Let's fucking ain't get trash, and they do that. Do we say them damn rockers? Huh? Do we say them rockers? Do we blame all the rock
I'm
artists?
sure do. Shit, I'm sure the hotels say them damn rockers. They trash the road. Wakil L said that they said Biggie they met on a set of Juice.
Thank you.
That would make sense.
Yes. Thank you, bro. See, yes, thank you. And he said, I forgot Wakil L was an East Coast cat shy, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And he said Big L, one of the greatest storytellers. Yes, I forgot to mention Big L when I was talking about the storytellers, boy. Everybody gives it up to that brother, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes,
that would make much sense. That he's out there shooting that on the East Coast, and he's out
that
there.
Does make sense.
Yeah.
And he already liked that song, right? He already had liked that song. Oh, I love your song. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So we got the rolls and the beef. Did you rep East or West Coast? Self Love? What were you claiming? Nothing. I remember Coach was West Coast all day. Remember he used to have his. He used to listen to trash.
I didn't claim none of that. I was like, this is some stupid shit. Wish this goddamn media would stop it. It's two guys beefing. I didn't know it was four guys beefing, actually, but it's two guys beefing. Y'all put a whole coast on each of their back. And we in the middle. I ain't on either of those coasts. So, man, stop it.
But I wonder, though, man. I mean, okay, you guys are reasonable gentlemen, though, Self Love, both of you guys. And I'm just wondering, even at, because Diddy and them wasn't 25. Maybe they were. You guys are reasonable. I'm saying if you own Death Row and DJ E. Prado was the owner of Bad Boy, seems like you guys would be a little more sophisticated than that and be able to say, man, let's do Bad Boy West and let's come together. Like, I think you guys would be able to do that.
Hey, I think I would be a little more sophisticated than having my ass in L.A.
Had he...
Why this shit is still transpiring.
But they said they were there to make the peace.
Yeah, had Pac
with who? With who? They weren't gonna make peace. That shit was just a slapping in people's face. He come out there.
Go ahead, Diesel. That's how I felt.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Diesel. Yeah.
Had Pac lived, I think him and Biggie would eventually their disagreement would have got squashed.
They would,
because he knew, and as he was finding out more information, and he was upset that Biggie didn't come visit him in prison or whatever, which he couldn't. But as he was getting more information,
wait, why couldn't he?
I believe because he's a prior felon. You couldn't go visit.
Associate.
Yeah, you couldn't go to the jail like that. Okay. So he couldn't come visit him anyway.
Also, you're talking about a 24-year-old and a 25-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That if they lived, they would have got over this, and this would not be a thing. It would have been a rewriting of the whole East-West Coast whole situation. They were young as hell.
It would have been a ripple in our history. So people that we know today and love, some of those people we would have never heard of, never knew and loved them, because you would have still had these two. And the trickle-down effect would have been totally different.
I feel like Diddy would have had, and step on me if I'm wrong, I think Diddy would have been reasonable enough as a businessman, since he wasn't from the street, to be able to see the value of, hey, look, Suge, let's stop doing this and killing each other, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll even pay y'all this money that I got to pay these Crips allegedly to protect me. I'll just give it to you, Suge. Shut the F up and y'all move on. And go ahead. What were you saying, Self?
It was said that's what he tried to do, but Suge was like, nah.
Suge wouldn't do it. All of that, to me, is my opinion. All of that would have got squashed, even with them two.
Yeah.
But once Pac got killed,
did Suge have a white man behind him? Dare I say Hebrew?
Jimmy Iovine, if you count that behind him. But, he was the person on top of Interscope that was fueling that money.
And David Geffen is above him? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I believe that it would have got all of that, but once Pac died, and then you knew that Diddy had an affiliation with the people who killed Pac, it just like no turning back. And he should have never came to California that quick.
Oh, Diddy had an affiliation, and we're gonna get into that. Well, I'd
Oh
like to know
yeah.
you more.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, well, that's where we're going. Well, that is where we're going. All right, and I never answered it on. Diesel, did you rep East Coast or West Coast?
No, I didn't represent either.
Even musically, was it a side that you appreciated more? And I'll ask you too, Self. Even if it was just music,
I was like the majority of the Chicago people. We just like good music.
Midwest,
at that
man.
time.
If it was from the South, if it was from Chi,
we didn't care where it was from. If we was playing it. That's why I never understood how Ice Cube and them tried to go at Common. And I was like, man, we don't be hating on y'all like that because of that song. I used to love
it's bigger than that, Diesel. There's been a history of Chicago is supposed to always be a consumer market. That's why we all run around talking about Gucci in the Gucci store. We're supposed to be buying records and music. They don't want us on this end of it, like with Lil Durk and what all those guys are doing. We're never supposed to be on that end. The Kanye. And then you notice whenever we do get that, you got to move. You got to move out of Chicago. Chicago's supposed to be a consumer market full of consumers. That's the way it was set up, I think, by the gangsters.
Yeah, there ain't many that stay in Chicago once they make it big in any industry.
I forget the Brad is from Chi.
Yeah.
Yeah. 60644. It's the Brat and JD tied out, big baby.
She been gone so long, and I mean, it don't even like she come back and shake the mayor's hand. You know what I'm saying? When she left, she didn't look back.
I can name one that was in entertainment. He wasn't necessarily a singer, but he.
R. Kelly?
No, stayed. No.
I mean, nobody wants to talk about him.
Bernie Mac.
Rest his soul, man.
Bernie Mac, we used to fly back here no matter what.
Rest his soul. Yeah.
No, I'm going home. I'll catch you guys. Next time.
Yeah. Bernie Mac. And I think Robin Harris would have been like that too, but they're not rappers. They're not. But usually our entertainers though. They'll let us break through. I think they had no choice with the comedy, man.
These younger guys, man, I'm telling you, bro, they better move. I mean,
the younger guy, I would advise them to move.
They're so disrespectful, and they say so much disrespectful shit that.
Well, you could say that, but if you're doing it and saying it, that's a bad thing. In other words, just saying the disrespectful stuff is horrible. But you mean to tell me you're putting the work in and you're saying it and you're running around the city, you're standing at Harold's Chicken buying some blunts and somebody's family member heard all that and just ran into you? That's what they don't understand.
Or if you have participated in the past and you're no longer participating.
But just fanning it.
And you're talking, you do better getting out of town.
Self, there are wounds, Self, that people have buried, that they've been dealing with trauma, that they have prayed to God, and they trying to let it go. And you get some goofy on the internet or rapping Self, you know what I mean? Frame that back up and drop a name, and I'm sitting back like, man, I never thought it might have been Little Pookie that did that to Junebug, 20 years ago. Again, there's no statute of limitations on murder, and there's no statute of limitation on pain. You know what I mean? So yes, that's what Self's saying. But you could be so disrespectful, they'll come across country and get you.
Yeah, that's true. But you got a lot better chance.
Got a whole lot better chance than walking to the corner store getting you some blunts.
Still at the mama's house. I stay at 44th and Drexel.
And they're not doing anything in the community, right? It's not like they're saying, no, we're building businesses, I'm established here. All right, but let's jump on it. Media Roll, we did that. We did Diddy. All right, East Coast, West Coast. For me, I was like, y'all, man, it didn't matter much to me. If it was good. If it sucked. So let's just go on to why. We're talking about, listen to the question. This is for the chat as well. Why was Biggie shot? Self kind of went into it earlier. Was he sacrificed?
Oh, no, that was straight payback for Pac. That was straight payback for Pac. Straight. Cut to the chase.
That's why I like Diesel. Diesel's obvious for me. He's straight. Narrow, whatever that came out in the reports.
Yeah,
it's good.
That's what came out in the reports. They,
yeah,
straight up came out of the reports that Suge paid his girl $25,000. She gave 12 of it to, I can't think of the dude's name, and yep, and he went and handled that business basically.
So they lowballed, Suge lowballed him.
he's dead. Well, Suge was in the joint, so he wasn't. He had a call and then had somebody handle that.
But he offered 25 grand. That's a lowball offer for such a target, in my opinion. I'm saying Poochie.
Well, at that time, it depends on who it is, because
that was
who gonna do it, and who gonna do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, but it's throughout the streets of
well, that was
Compton and
Biggie,
LA.
though. I mean, but it goes back how big your target is, how much security they might have. Now they said that Biggie caught the light. His vehicle caught the light, and the other vehicles didn't. And the shooter vehicle happened to pull up on them. Then, how ironic is that? I'm saying you're putting your life at risk taking shots at a person like that. 25 grand for
I know what you mean.
For death row, man. You
Just
go
like-
tell his
just
girl.
like-
You go tell him to quadruple that shit.
No, I know what you mean.
This was Suge's guy. They said that Suge, he didn't treat him like the rest of the gang and all that shit.
Right, because
he
he
had
was
them
about
up front.
it.
Right, he had him all the way in the cut.
He was
and they
Suge's Vine.
Yeah,
right.
And he would go talk to him away from everybody and all that.
Again, and because I'm
25, who knows what he thought?
Well,
he didn't think he was getting lowballed. I doubt it.
Compared
obviously
to
for sure.
I'm analyzing it.
For sure.
Analyzing it. And in my opinion, he got lowballed. In my opinion, right? And I'm just armchair quarterback. And that's a lowball offer. You shouldn't be murdering anybody. But for a target like that, he was in town with all that security. He could have died doing that.
If I can speak,
which means that it had to be some other involvement going on.
I agree with you, and you can compare it to what allegedly Puffy offered and paid to the dudes who killed Pac.
And what allegedly they got for allegedly killing FBG Duck. We talking some millions. And you got a person that don't.
I'm talking about Pac. Allegedly with
Puffy, but yes. But I'm just saying, 25 grand ain't nothing.
Yeah, it was alleged that Puffy paid 500,000 or it was $500,000 or $1 million.
It was a half.
For it was supposed to be $1 million. It's supposed to be $1 million, but he gave.
And the only reason I'm discounting it, y'all, not to discount
500,000.
I'm discounting it because the conspiracy theory of me saying that sounds like a load of bullshit. I don't care if it is my boy. Hey, I love you, but you asked me to put my life online. Ain't no statute of limitations on murder, and I can go to jail forever. This is gonna cost more than 25 stacks. You're rich, and I'm gonna need more than 25 stacks. Go ahead, Self.
And who all the information is coming from is a known, perjurer.
And then I only get exactly. Let's analyze it more, Self. Let's analyze it more.
No, hold on. I'm going there. I'm going there. They had her.
They had her. Right.
They had her. So she just talked. So she might have told them anything. She just want to tell anything that they want to hear, so she could get her case reduced. So it could be complete bullshit.
No.
Not only did he not get 25 grand, they're alleging that she took half of it just from being the go-between. The shooter, your boy, my man's, I'm gonna tell some rat, man, go tell my man's to put this work in that I need done right here. What you offering? Tell him tell him. Man, that story sounds like white people's bullshit is what I'm trying to say.
Listen,
that's all I'm trying to say.
All I'm saying is
unpack it, it really sounds like white people bullshit.
When the streets say who done it, usually when the streets say, hey, this person done it or this hood done it, so forth, they've been saying that for years. Them people in Compton and LA, the street people, they know who did it. It's not a big
all
secret.
Over the chain.
Yeah, it's not a big. I'm talking about as far as a big.
Suge's boy rolled up on him, right? That's what they're saying allegedly, right? Y'all believe that story? There's more to it, but there's more to it. Now I've heard two different accounts. That party, there was a party that they were at. Biggie, Pac, they were all at this party, right? There was an account that one dude who was there. He was from New York, but he was living in LA. I pulled the video up. I might play it. He was saying that Biggie and those cats was in LA getting straight hate, getting straight mean mug, bro. He said that he had been out here long enough to know when people wasn't playing. These are, when people ain't playing. But it's funny, I heard another person, I think that was there, said the total opposite. It might even been Diddy. I think it was, we were getting love and everybody was loving us. And it was a third party that was like, no, they was getting nothing but hate. And he said that Biggie was sitting there with his scepter. You know what I'm saying? Because his leg was broke. But they said people was looking at that like, this man in our backyard, sitting up here like he the king. You know what I'm saying? Our breadwinner just got murdered. We think it's him.
It wasn't even a year from the time that Pac died that he had him back out in LA. You don't, especially at that time, you can't go out there like that.
LA too. We're not talking about people. We're not talking about French Lick, Indiana. We talking about LA in the 90s.
LA in the 90s. Man, no how, no way. You don't go out there for a few years.
LA was like O Block. You know what I'm saying? South Central.
LA was like the Greens in his prime.
But they said that dude, allegedly, whoever the shooter was, they said that Biggie's security, I don't understand, what's the point of security if he's catching a light, everybody else ain't running the light, and then somebody can just roll up on you? You expect me to believe all this?
He didn't roll up. He was, if you listen to you can even pull it up and look and see how the street is. The street, so let's say this Biggie and them in the car, right? The street is here. The car was parked on the end of the curve. So he didn't have to drive anyway. When they pulled up, they were right there next to him. He didn't have to drive. The way the street is, you listen to Gene Deal, he'll tell you that car was parked there the whole time. And when they pulled up, arm come out and started shooting. He didn't have to follow them anything.
Let me find this. Yeah, because my man said that, man, people started making them phone calls. You know how that go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was staring at Biggie and Puffy and all them and sending the girls on them, you know. And he said that his biggest regret, I'm gonna find this, was that he didn't go over there and say something to Puffy. You know what I mean? Like, man, y'all need to get out of here.
They just should have never been there in the first place. Never. They just shouldn't have been out there. You should have waited a good 2 to 3 years before you attempted to go anywhere west of the Mississippi.
Never would have been okay.
Like I said, at least 2 to 3 years before you attempted to go west of the Mississippi. You shouldn't even been trying to do that, to let them people calm down. You know, that's still fresh in people's heads.
Well,
so
I heard Biggie, bro, in a interview. I'm sure you saw it when he was in LA. And that what was dude's name on BET? The brother that used to do all the interviews.
Joe Claire.
Yep, it was Joe Claire. Yeah, that's exactly who it was. He was sitting there talking to Joe Claire.
Nope.
He's a Noop?
Yeah.
And Joe Claire, man, he asked him. And he said that, and that's when I gained, through that interview, I did gain some respect for Biggie. Biggie had made a complete arch by then. You know, and I think Biggie was saying, like, man, people, they was asking him, he said, yeah, people was coming up to me saying some serious stuff, you know, like mad. And he was like, but you listen to Ready to Die, though. You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to tell him, but they trying to tell Biggie, you out here too early, man.
Yeah, remember, he was on like the radio stations in Cali doing, you know, talking about.
They might as well have thought you killed Benji Wilson and you in the city at a party.
And Gimpy. He was Gimpy.
Yeah,
He had been in a car accident on a cane, couldn't move around like he need to.
Hey, he almost died in that car accident. You got to listen to that Charlie Baltimore interview.
Yeah.
Oh, man. She said, man.
So what happened in the car accident? What happened? Unpack that. I don't remember this.
Him, Little C's.
Little C's was driving.
Yeah, and they were coming from, man, I just watched the interview like a few weeks ago, man. I'm usually got a great memory, but I can't remember what they were coming from. Yeah. But he literally almost got killed. Like literally. If you listen to her tell it. And
was they drinking and driving, or was they at fault? Did they explain? Was it snow?
No. It wasn't no snow. You know what? I'll end up listening to it again just to get it, later this evening
Yeah,
to get it in my head.
Hey, as soon as
But-
we end this show, you're gonna remember everything. I do
Yeah,
it all the time.
yeah.
I'll be like, ain't this some shit?
Yeah, but she said, hey, he literally almost died in that accident. And he shouldn't have been traveling with leg all broken and everything. No way, no how.
And so he wasn't on his 100%. So the dude said that man, let me find this. He said that the people was looking at Biggie like, man, and he out here because he didn't have a cast on, so they didn't know his leg was messed up.
Yeah, it's called I think I saw Biggie get set up before it happened or something unknowingly.
All right, let me see it.
Something along those lines. I saw the thumbnail on YouTube earlier today.
Oh, the algorithm sent it to you. Yeah, and that's what he was saying. But the funny thing about it, Diesel, is then I hear another dude saying, "Oh, it was all good. We was getting nothing but love," and that just show you how perspective is that you could be sitting in L.A. 6 months after Pac got murdered and perceiving all that fake love and them fake girls.
That's a cap. If you listen to what Lil C's and them was saying, they was talking about we getting hate calls and everything.
Biggie said he was getting hate. Biggie said he was getting
all
hate.
of this stuff. All of this stuff while they was in LA.
Yeah.
So that's a big cap. He's front.
And when you getting hate like that, they should have cut that trip short because whatever it was wasn't worth it.
Nope.
Man, it would have been okay to just turn right around and get back. And that's why a lot of people thought Diddy sacrificed that man.
Well, Biggie didn't. He wasn't leaving. No, he.
You mean he wasn't leaving the label?
He was going to leave Bad Boy.
He
wasn't leaving L.A. during that time. He wasn't in the right state of mind, as far as I'm concerned. Like real talk. Like when you hear the interviews, I just like
correct because
it don't make sense.
It don't because he said people were giving him that
death threats. He was getting death threats, like on phone calls and all that.
Like, but you like my album, don't you? And he don't realize, man,
your album will still be here.
Right. Yeah,
and if it's a bag on your head, those death threats be people to get you agitated. So 12 don't know who really took the shot. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They had people all over town like what they was doing at 6ix9ine. So he sat himself down. People, all kind of random people. You know how they get down. They're gonna kill you. Everybody threatening you. And that way, when you do get blicked, everybody was out to get this guy. You can't single me out. That's how they do, man. That's how the mob do, allegedly.
Yeah, I put that the biggest blame of him being out there on Puffy because he had no business of having something going on out there. He's out there. Puffy's promoting that album. He was on that. They wasn't on that.
I'm telling you, that was Diddy who said they was getting love. And I said, how can he tell that lie? That was Diddy. And he said, and I thought this party would be good to go to because where it was at and all this and that. I'm like, man, you in LA, man. But, he thought he had that Crip security. See, they was getting backdoor. See, Diddy wasn't from the street. So if you making these alliances, you don't know what you're doing.
No, he.
I don't know what Diddy
he was out
is
there.
or not.
They was out there for a few days because they was able to plan that. They was able to plan that. If you was there for a day. What you mean, no?
They were out there for a while. He was recording music out there. They were living. He was living in L.A.
Yeah.
Bro.
Well, Diddy was living in L.A.
Biggie was living in L.A. He was recording his album.
Because some people
staying off the grid, and then he was staying off the grid for the most part. But right up to that show or whatever that was Source or what? Was it 20 years or something?
No, it was a Soul Train. Soul
Train. Right.
They said some of Diddy's guys was getting put to gunpoint in LA, people trying to find out Diddy's address. Yeah, I didn't know Diddy had a house out here.
Yeah, whenever he was out there. But to my understanding,
but he did.
They flew out there a few days, like a week or so before that.
He had been out there for weeks, bro.
Posted up. Diddy was talking about making movies and stuff.
I thought they was out there like a week. I thought like it was like 5 to 7 days they was out there before that. And that's why I said they had time to plan. Because they knew where he was going to be.
At least 2 weeks.
Yeah, Minister Wakil said Juicy was the first big single. Yeah, I meant to mention that too. I checked that out during the break. Yeah, well, and that justifies getting that album because that's an American classic.
That first album.
Well, juicy in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to go back and revisit Ready to Die. And it goes along with what you said too, Self, that Ready to Die, that whole concept. And there was a lot of death going on where we was. And I wasn't so much ready to die at that time, where I could really get into that.
The name of it was...
Yeah. So the why was Big Shot. So you guys are saying you're okay with the whole idea. Yeah, man, the cops said the case was solved. They said they feel like the case is solved, man. It was a cop that, I think he's a spook though, but he said he came in and solved the case.
Yeah, see, the one dude, the guy who was the main guy who was chasing the case for a while, and he died of a heart attack. What's his name? Russell Poole.
Yeah,
he was the guy who was chasing that case, but he was off. It's okay to say he was wrong with what he was chasing.
Was he wrong? Because he was putting it on the police department, and of course they're going to say he's wrong. Then they hired more cops to do an investigation and say we need something else.
Well, the biggest thing that happened was the lawsuit against the city that his family,
Correct.
the biggest family, put. So
the $400 million lawsuit.
Right. So, but their whole lawsuit, this is where they probably made a mistake, was they put the onus on what Russell Poole's theory was.
Yeah, that's where they made a mistake.
And so all the LAPD had to do was say,
come up with another
we need to come up with a theory that's different than that.
But dude did come up with a good theory. I think I liked his theory. Not Poole,
Russell, Greg Kading.
When y'all was saying they had something on the girl, she was doing some white collar crimes, which y'all need to understand, young men. It be these women out there getting caught up. Y'all out there doing shams with them. They don't want to leave the baby and go to jail and lose the baby and all of that. So they're gonna rat you out and off times. And
Greg Kading. He had to, and in order to prove the Biggie thing, you had to solve the Pac thing.
Yes.
So that's where it came in. They got weight on Keefe D for he had these big old drug charges hanging over his head. So that's how they got him to sit down and give that.
But these are some of the things the government's doing, and they admit to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Tory must have got booted. Is they'll say, all right, so they'll be like, so DJ E. Prado was an associate. And we knew DJ E. Prado was doing XYZ, which was illegal. And we knew that's what he was into. So we just had to get him on a case. So I don't know if now they be like, yeah, so we spent, remember they said they spent millions of dollars on that case, setting up one person to get enough evidence for that one person to now want to talk. I got issue with that, man. If that's not entrapment 101, I don't know what is, bro. If that's not the definition of entrapment, I don't know what it is.
It is, but that's how they operate. They've been doing that for ages. That's what they do.
I didn't know they admitted to it. I didn't know that was legal. Is that legal?
I mean,
entrapment's not legal according to.
But I mean, they just use a different word for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're gonna give them an agreement so we can catch the big fish. That's how they do.
Like, yes, they'll be like it. No, but yeah, I thought they'd be like, but he had a case pending. I used to hear that. These dudes was literally saying, them guys who they brought in there to make them cases, was literally saying, okay, we knew 9 Mills was into writing bad checks. Not that we knew 9 Mills had a case he was facing and we went there and made that deal. No. So we had to get a case on him, so we followed him and all of this and that. And I'd be like, oh, man, what did y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Y'all set that man up, man. That's bogus, bro.
Yeah, well, Keefe D, to his, if you want to call it defense, from his point of view, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all need to do because well, no, he could tell them because all the dudes who was with him was dead. Everybody who was in that car with him when they shot Pac was dead.
But you could just weave any story together, especially about dead people.
Well, you could, but whatever he was saying, it had to be backed up and verified. And they verified it.
That's true. They did verify. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And if anything came back wrong,
he was going to get that time.
Obsolete. Yeah. And he could still be Las Vegas PD could still get him because he only got to deal with LA.
But one thing y'all pointed out was that everybody's dead, and all of those cops, because the cop, as he was doing this little breakdown on this podcast I watched, he was trying to make some cops seem good and some cops seem bad. Every single cop was bad. Every single cop that he did in his breakdown was bad, bro. There was one cop in LA who killed the other cop. They said it was road rage and all this and that. And then, right. And then he beat the case. And you know, he was on the take. So I'm like, if all y'all, and then they start talking about the Rampart, and this dude's like, only 2 of them were bad. BS. So it's like, if you still lying about Rampart and you still lying about who these bad cops are, why can't I even listen to you and your whole investigation starts losing all credibility, bro?
But the actuality, because if you go and look, the Ramparts didn't really have anything to do with
it didn't.
Biggie, with Biggie getting shot. So
No.
they didn't have nothing to do with that. They were trying to kind of put it in there as much as they could, but they didn't have nothing to do with it. Just like the guy that the pool was kind of trying to say who did it, Amir Muhammad. They verified he wasn't even there. He wasn't there when that stuff happened. And they were trying to put it on him because you seen somebody with a bow tie, look like he's from the Nation of Islam.
But that, okay, so I'm glad you said that. And that's what I'm saying. And if they, LAPD, if they have an ability and the sheriffs to be trying to put stuff on people, then what's to stop them to be trying to put stuff on all these people with all these stories?
True. The only thing you can do is try to go by whatever type of information that you can find that can be verified. That's all you can go
because
on.
Because they said, well, you know, because they was like, well, why won't you try Suge for the murder? And dude was like, well, like you said, everybody's dead, and the one person who is alive is like a 4 or 5 time felon, and his lawyer just come in. Like,
good luck trying to prove it, you know. Good luck.
right.
You ain't gonna, it's the same thing with Diddy and the alleged money that he paid to for those dudes for shooting Pac.
Man, that's almost street news like you was talking about.
Yeah,
that's almost known that and they don't do nothing about that. The feds
they can't prove, because the dude Von Zip, he's dead. He died of cancer a few years ago, so he's dead. So you can never.
Now this allegedly happened at a party in front of people. Not that he gave the money, but he made the deal.
The deal. And you know, did he call and say, "Hey, was that y'all?" After that happened or whatever? Right. And then he allegedly it was supposed to be for $1 million, and then he gave Zip 500,000.
Right.
Who he was supposed to get at to the dudes who did it. Zip just said he was a street guy. He just kept the money. What's gonna happen? They never get anything, and by then they done got in trouble on other stuff.
Right.
So it didn't matter anyway.
Right.
So he just kept all of that money. He didn't do anything.
So Diddy was like, "I'm not going to pay you the other 500 grand."
Yeah. So, and everybody started dying anyway. So all that stuff kind of got swept under the rug, because now you can't really verify. You know what? Now it is one person who's still alive, but Keefe D. He's the one who said, like, yeah, that did happen. That did. And then you catch him in interviews, he'll switch his story up. And then if you got the right person to interview him, they'll press him on it till they'll say, well, wait a minute, you told the guys when you gave those that whatever they call it, that testimony or whatever, to keep you out of.
Tory said he had an agreement that they couldn't charge him in LA. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. But it was based on the information that he gave them on all of these questions they asked.
Right. Yeah. They did have that agreement. Yeah.
He wore a wire to it just recently came out. He wore a wire to catch Zip, to get Zip on tape. He wore a wire to catch Zip up. Wore a wire. Now that's what Reggie Wright just stated a few days ago. He was like,
man, the government, when they make the wire, man, and no homer, the wire, it should be like part of a butt plug. That should be the only way they should do it. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it should be poetic. If you're gonna wire up and be a rat and don't want to do your time and you want to cooperate, the only way these wires work, son, we're gonna stick this butt plug up your ass. You know what I mean? And then wire the wires through there, because nobody's ever gonna look through there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about this. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Can't do the time.
Man. All right, so let's see. There's anything you want to say? Because we talked about who shot B.I.G, and I think I think when I looked at dude's assessment, I thought like what y'all was saying. I agree with his assessment, but at the same time, that guy loses a lot of credibility. A, because he's pink. B, because he's 12, and C, because he was hired specifically to get another theory that would stop them from getting sued by Biggie's mom. And I think it was Johnny Cochran too.
You know what? I think that he got lucky being able to get the whole LAPD got lucky that they were able to come across and get the information of what actually really happened. They just got lucky. Someone was looking over their shoulder and like handed it to them, and that's what really happened. I really believe that's who did it. That's what really happened. And you know, he's gone.
So Orlando Anderson, all of that, you think that was like two birds with one stone? Hey, look, you had that hit out, we put that work in, pay up. And then once Diddy found out, allegedly, y'all, once he found out, oh, that was all over the chain and shit, I'm not paying the other $500. You think that could have happened?
I think once, because I don't know how long a time was in between from whenever he gave Zip the money that was supposed to be given to them. How much time went in between before they started dying? Because Orlando Anderson, he got killed, what, in like 99? Like 98,
yeah,
99?
by the ops.
Yeah.
Was he about? Yeah.
Well, some other Crips from Compton. They was, you know, had a shootout. But so if you start looking at, and then Keefe D got his charges, his drug charges, whatever, not too long after that. So you see what I mean? So who knows what was that time frame that he gave Zip that money, and it was supposed to get passed on to them, but for whatever reason, they ain't never seen the day of light of a dollar.
Self Love said, how many snitches would love the butt plug? Yeah, you're right. You ain't said shit. Yeah. Oh man, y'all, wow, man. We gotta wrap this up, man, because this is great. But all right, let's do this, bro. All right.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
What album did you like better? Ready to Die or Life After Death?
Life After Death, man. Hands down.
Me too.
Hands down, man.
I did
Ready
too.
to Die was more like, and don't get me wrong, there's people in the projects like, this one, I'm gonna get them. I can understand how, like, if you really from that, man, you know, how that would really be speaking to you like 100% to that. He was more every black man by the time, you know, it's that influence that Nate was talking about Diddy had on him. He was more of an every man, I think, when he did Life After Death.
If he would have had the remix of One More Chance on the Ready to Die album, then you can make a better argument for the Ready to Die. But without that remix on there, you just got that regular version. It wasn't all that. It's like
yeah, I mean, Ready to Die is not enough, and I'm surprised to hear me say this. I must be old, but yeah, Ready to Die, man, is just it's just not enough. It's just too much gangster stuff for me. You know what I mean?
Plus, it's going up against a double album too, man.
Correct. That's what Tory just typed. He just said it as you were saying it. Life After Death was a double joint. Yep. And, you know, they had more time under him, more experience. You know, Puffy put more money into the project. You know how that go. He was able to work with you know, more artists that he wanted to work with, because I think he worked with Bone.
The first album, only collab was Method Man. Was the only one on that first album.
The second album, he had Bone. Somebody else big on there. R. Kelly.
112 Singing Hooks.
Yeah. Who else was on there besides Kells and Bones, man?
He'd have had to pay Biggie the same way Suge was about to pay Pac to do the Death Row East. He'd have had to pay Biggie something like 50 million or 100 million type of deal to keep him at Bad Boy. And of course, his publisher.
He wasn't staying at Bad Boy.
Well, like
that's what I was going to say.
Wasn't Bone on that album too?
Mo Thugs,
yeah, Bone, yeah, Bone, yeah.
That was.
Yeah. But no, that's why I said in order to keep him on Bad Boy, he'd have had to do something like that. Was doing with Pac. If he did. Hold
on. Let's look at this record, the track record of this guy that calls himself Puffy. What artist is still with him? What artist has succeeded and gone on to greatness.
He don't even have a label no more, really.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, that's a valid question. It's a valid question. But then, I would throw you this. I would say, most
Mary
artists.
J started with him.
Well, no artist.
Well, hold on. She was
artist.
not Bad Boy. He was her A&R.
But I would ask you this: what artist is
He
still with their?
executive produced them
What
first
artist is
albums,
still
buddy.
with their label, of any genre?
What's
I think
the 411 and that second one? That's Puffy.
I think all artists outgrow that. I think it's just the nature of adulthood that artists lead a label.
No, there are labels that have had successful artists. Puffy's not one of them.
Motown.
He executive produced it, but it was still on it was on Uptown. It was not on Bad Boy. It's no one that is successful that's still doing it that came up under Puffy's reign.
Well, I'm saying if you executive produce an album, to me, then whether it's under your label or not, that's your album. So he did like her first two, and both of them
Mary
albums
J.
was tight.
Blige?
Yeah,
If it was on Uptown, then that was what's the
that's
name?
Andre Harrell. But if you executive produce, you get all
he
them
was
credits.
more. Yeah, Puffy was more A&R and back then, but that's when
Yeah.
he was getting those
No,
credits.
that wasn't no. That
That's
wasn't
when
no
he was getting
A&R,
those
bro.
credits.
That was he executive
He produced those albums. I'm not gonna say that, but on his own, nothing, no one. You
Hey,
can't
but those
name
are some
one.
cold albums.
Yeah,
They are, but they still not under him. And only
yeah.
people, all of
112,
the
that was
people,
it. On
all of the
112,
people.
Biggie.
Is 112 still doing something? Biggie, dead.
But how many of them were
Loon,
talented?
Loon. I mean,
But
there's a
that-
bunch of talented people. Craig Mack, Loon, Mace. These are talented people.
I know you didn't say Mace. Did
Yes.
you say Mace?
Hey,
Yes, I
you
did.
rock
Mace-
with Mace.
Hey, bro.
Mace sold,
Hey, bro. Hey,
He
bro.
sold.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen to Mace and then listen to this shit that we got out now. Mace sounds great. Sounds way better than this shit that we see now. This
Well, let me say this.
Hey,
Just
Mace.
because-
Hey, Mace.
I didn't
Let me
like
say
Mace.
too.
I didn't like
Just
Mace
because-
then.
Just because you're comparing a $10 steak to a $3 steak, it doesn't make that $10 steak a $200 steak.
Hey, Mace stiffed him too. He
Sucks.
gave him like a $7 million advance, and then he retired.
You
Sure,
He
Mace been
retired.
gospel. I mean, I'm just saying, everybody's got their opinion. I was never personally feeling Mace. You know what I'm
And he
saying?
had a old boy that passed too.
I didn't
for a
feel him
minute.
either, but he
What
was
old boy
successful.
name?
Shine.
No.
So are the
whoa.
guys today. They're
What's
successful
his
too.
name? What's his name? Black Rob.
Yeah, and I don't like them either. Black Rob. It was a bunch
Yes.
of them.
That's my
Yeah.
point.
No, I'm just thinking of people that I remember from back then that he had on his label, that he dropped albums for.
I'm just
Now,
saying.
whether they had longevity, that's a different thing. you
The
know.
people that I didn't like then sound way better now.
I was just saying that who was really talented? Mary J. Blige. Okay. I mean, Biggie. There's no denying that. You're saying
Jodeci,
Mace.
Jodeci, Black
They never.
Rob.
Jodeci. Nah,
Jodeci
Jodeci
wasn't
never
Puffy.
did it for me. Never did it for me.
Jodeci wasn't under Puffy.
I always thought
Jodeci was under Devontae.
Jodeci remind me like people from Champaign, Townies.
Yeah,
They
Jodeci
dress
was
like
not under
Townies,
Bad
they act
Boy
like
Records.
Townies.
Jodeci
Yeah.
was under Devontae, which would have been like
Yeah.
Hey,
Uptown.
all
or
this, I'm telling you, all the people that are still relevant or could do anything
look,
are
I'm not
not
debating
on
you.
Bad Boy.
But no, I'm not
That's what I
debating
was
the
saying.
point.
Mary J. Blige was
No, but
never
I
on.
want to agree with you, but I'm just saying how many of them were really talented. We can't just say how many of them are not with their label, but if they aren't with any labels, if they aren't doing any music, if they haven't done shit since they left them, then what are we talking about? It's not like Mace went on to go platinum or any of these guys we're talking about went on to do anything else.
Yeah, no, Mace didn't do nothing when he came back.
Which
from
means-
out of
right.
retirement.
These okay.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying. No, I'm just asking.
Puffy blackballs motherfuckers. Real talk.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
gives
now,
he
Craig
doesn't
Mack,
do him
dope.
right.
Craig Mack, dope. He passed away, but I heard he did Craig Mack dirty.
He
Yeah,
did. He
he
left
did.
music. He left music because of that. Black
Correct.
Rob was talented, and Black Rob
He blocked
crackhead,
Craig
though,
Mack.
man.
He blocked Craig Mack. He wouldn't. Yeah, I remember that when Craig was hot.
Yeah, he messed up.
Nobody's
He
been
had,
successful under him.
Well, Mary J. went
I ain't
through
gonna
it.
say that. I ain't gonna say nobody.
She was out of when she got really big. She was beyond him. She was gone past him.
Yeah, but the foundation put her up there, man. I can't. Them first two albums, man. I can't crap on that, bro. I can't crap on that.
Man,
Them
I can't
first
crap
two
on it.
albums,
I can't either.
Them was hot.
And it don't get enough. They don't get enough due.
I mean, y'all are misunderstanding me because
No, I know what you mean.
Biggie's albums was hot.
Yeah.
All the music he made was hot. I'm talking about the people after that. Like what happened.
But let's stop saying he made the music. Was
he didn't
Diddy
make-
making the music? Because you guys are misleading people.
Well, he
I've
made
never
it just
seen him
like,
behind a board doing a mix.
What's the big
Dr. Dre?
No, Dr. Dre makes the beats.
Oh,
Makes some of the beats.
we the best music.
Khaled,
We the
yeah,
best
yeah.
music.
He makes it like Khaled make it. Like they use producers. Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
use
what I'm
producers. And they say,
You see what
oh,
I'm saying,
change
Diddy?
this, change that.
It
That's
wasn't
how
my
they
understanding
produce.
that Diddy has any of these talents. I thought Diddy was just more of a
No,
Nah.
Diddy is
Choose the sounds and a whole bunch of shit.
He know now, yeah. Do he use certain producers?
Oh yeah, I forgot. He used to be in the lab. He did.
But no,
he
he's
got in
trying to
there.
be
the next Jermaine Dupri.
Got
And
in
that's
there
why
with
you're saying
Busta
Diddy was
Rhymes.
making a Jermaine Dupri reference.
He can make beats. Diddy can make. He was
And
more at.
He got in there with got in there and talk to Busta Rhymes about the first record that Busta Rhymes did, Slow or whatever. Diddy produced that.
Diddy was more great at sampling stuff, just like he sampled M-Tune for
Yes.
Juice.
Oh, yeah, Diddy used to just record the whole song.
Find what the sounds that he wanted to, and it didn't matter where it came from. Be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you do this, and then oh, I like this. You take that part and do that. That's the type of producing he did. Not know.
Oh well, hell, I could have done that.
Well, no, he was a sampler.
It's a very
He was a sampler, similar to Kanye. Kanye is the best at sampling.
Yeah, but Kanye can get on there and do all that stuff.
Yes,
Notorious
Kanye could do his own
Yes.
straight beats, but Kanye's at his very best when he samples stuff. If you
That's
go back
hip-hop.
and listen to exactly,
hip-hop.
That's what Diddy was known for, sampling beats, man. I'm telling you.
Man,
Go
Diddy
back and
don't
listen
get
to
not only
producer
he's
credits
more like
Dre.
Khaled. Khaled,
No, he's not. No, Khaled is a DJ turned producer type.
Correct.
It's different.
Right. So Dr.
Diddy
Dre
was a producer like Dre, except Dre was more skilled in making beats. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dre can get on the tables. Are y'all saying Diddy can get on the tables?
I ain't saying he can get on the tables. I'm saying, but he made beats, man. He wasn't just.
I'm saying these records that
but he
Khaled
was a
is making.
sample.
He's not just the DJ.
He ain't
doing
doing
the
it.
same shit. He
Right.
ain't touching nothing. But
Right.
he's
Not
telling the
now.
motherfuckers what sounds he wants and
Correct.
all that. And I'm saying
Yeah,
that's
maybe-
what Diddy does.
Correct.
Maybe
That
not
sounds
now.
more
Maybe
right.
not now. But when Khaled he was a DJ. He wasn't.
His name is
Correct.
DJ Khaled. So you're
Right.
misunderstanding. That ain't got shit to do with the
You
production
guys are in
or
agreement.
producing.
You guys are actually agreeing.
Right.
You guys are actually saying the same thing. Actually, you're saying that Khaled isn't doing. I don't think he's making those beats.
He's choosing the sounds and telling people what he wants to hear.
Production is not his forte.
Correct.
Per se, it's not.
Right.
Diddy
But he'll-
production was his forte. He was a producer. That's what he was.
Oh wow. Well,
That's what
I-
he was.
They
That's what
produce
he
the
made.
same way though. That's what I'm telling you. They produce the same way.
No,
They pick motherfucking sounds they want to hear. They pick producers.
Well, they're not in agreement. Well, you guys, this is not a debate show, so we're gonna
Yeah, we
move on.
talking about
in the
Big
check,
Al
in the
or
check,
about Khaled and Diddy.
yeah, in the check, and
It's the same shit though. They do the
y'all
same
clear it
shit.
up if y'all can clear it up. But I did want to ask everybody, what do y'all think the rap game? What do you think it would look like with Pac and Biggie? Both of them still alive.
Diesel brought this up early, and I agreed with him wholeheartedly that it'd be a lot of motherfuckers that we'd never heard of.
Never heard of the ripples. Just think about history. Like
I
go
think
back
I
and
think we'd have
about
heard of
something.
Master P, but he'd have never been rapping. Because I think he's just such a mogul that he'd have been right where he needed to be in the beginning. So I throw Master P on that list. But we would have heard of him. He would have been rich. But who else? You wouldn't probably DMX probably wouldn't have been able to come around the way he did with the same bandana and the art rest his soul. Right? Seriously, it was just taking his whole swag. What's your boy name? Ja Rule? And Pac would have destroyed him and his whole. He couldn't have come out like that. They were doing that as an old Tupac. I don't think Ja Rule would have existed.
Yeah, because he did rap from the gut like Pac does from the gut.
He had the bandana and the blunt in his ear. I'm like, damn, dude.
He sang though, so
he did sing, but Pac would have destroyed him.
But it's just the ripples. If they were still alive,
I'm gonna say, hey, Jay-Z wouldn't be where he's at.
Yeah, a lot of
we
those
would
guys,
know him though. We would know him, but he would not.
Yeah, you may know him, but
You're right. Like Jay-Z and Nas and those cats got bumped up real fast. Wu-Tang, that would have been interesting. How when they were, how Biggie and Nas would have been in it. Like you said, Meth was on his album.
They would have still around. They had their own section.
Yeah,
they
were
many
of them.
I'm just saying it would have been interesting to see
And
them
both of
interact.
them, both of them messed with Wu-Tang. Pac did and Biggie.
Yeah,
both of them had them on their album.
Correct. It would have been interesting to see more of that. And Biggie was talking about, movies, and Von was just like King Von talking about something different. But yeah, he was talking about getting into movies just like dude, making movies and making his next move. But as far as the rap game, even today, I think they would be silverbacking more into the conversation of this drill music. I think they might be a little bit more outspoken, probably a little more. I feel like it, that they would care more about the state of hip hop, care enough more to speak on it, like Snoop does, but he doesn't really get nobody to back him up. Ice Cube don't really talk to the youth, you know what I mean, and tell them y'all cooning out here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really does.
It's like you don't, certain ones, they don't mess with music like that no more.
Yeah.
Because they got off in the other alternative ways to make money.
They're executives.
So music ain't, so music, what did Waka Flocka recently tell somebody? He told him, he said, no, listen to this. He said,
but Jay-Z's still in the music, but go ahead.
He said, Waka Flocka recently told somebody.
Nas, go ahead.
He said, I got $30 million in cash. Why do I need to make music anymore? Why I don't need to rap no more?
That was
in other words,
hey,
this is recently too.
Yeah, so, yesterday I heard Too Short got a show on Sirius on LL's channel, and he said he did about 50 songs with Snoop, E40, and Ice Cube, and they got volume 1 coming out. And I heard something yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay.
And see, that's dope. That's dope.
Is.
But watch how it's promoted. It doesn't, the way that they promote music now, it's not infused down to the younger people the same way we got it. You know what I mean? Like, you're hard pressed to go find people that we like to hear.
These people are pretty much independent. They're not using no labels, so it's going to be a whole different marketing route.
Yeah. To hear people that we like, that we grew up on, when they drop new music, like people be like, oh man, they fell off. No, you just got to go and look and find their music. They dropping music. You just ain't gonna hear it if you're listening to the radio and stuff.
Like people think Rakim ain't dropped nothing since the 90s or something. He probably got 5 albums since then.
But I guess some of these expectations we expect of these dead rappers. Like you just mentioned Rakim, KRS-One. There's legends that are alive. They're not like really, they'll talk about it, but I mean, I guess what can they do? So I guess I'm expecting too much out of Pac and Biggie. But do you think they would have gotten off into? I think Pac might have gone into politics.
No, Pac was into something completely else, because when he got killed, he was talking about a political hip hop party.
Man, he would have. Them two cats would have been in.
We go tell them what we need and what we want, and who provides it. That's the type of shit he was talking about. Like week before he got killed.
Just think how young they were when they died in their 20s.
That's what I said, 24 and 25. That shit is fucking crazy,
man. Just think how much smarter you were in your 30s from your 20s, and then your 40s from your 30s, man.
And 50. I'm 50. Man, so, you know what I mean? This is
and they was traveling all around the world, meeting all types of people. They would have been absorbing all types of information.
Well, Pac, Biggie, I'm not sure, but Pac definitely, he was already vocal about it.
And the stuff he could remember.
Well, Pac was a voracious reader. He had read thousands of books, and he died at 24. So, where did he get all the time? I really think some people born in this world, man, they don't be sleeping. They say Diddy's like that. Diddy might sleep 4 hours and be up all the rest of the day just going. Not just, chilling or whatever, just going. And I think some people, Michael Jackson had trouble sleeping. So if you get all that extra time on your hands, yeah, you're going to drop a platinum album.
And yeah, your life is going to be shorter.
Your life gonna be short because one thing about Pac, he was always smoking and drinking daily.
You think about Biggie. We talk about him. Their lifestyle, even Biggie carrying that weight and that drinking, maybe he would have changed, but you really wonder though. We looking at some of our rappers fell off, passed away, had strokes and died, and so
some of them get it together. Look at Dr. Dre. He started working out everything.
RZA, yeah.
Yeah, some of them, but it takes the time you got to live in order to get to that space where you can be like, all right, let me try to do this. Let me start doing this. See if this worked better for me. Maybe you got some kids and you like, man, I want to be able to see my kids do this and do that. And you start moving different.
Our whole premise of this series is a conspiracy theory. But you guys are, I guess, saying that this one's pretty straightforward. So, all right. I mean, if we feel like this case is solved, did we ever say who killed Pac? Did we ever say that? Because I don't know if we said that on the last show. So,
I don't think we did. And according to Keefe D, it was Orlando Anderson.
I'll say this. I don't.
And he said the reason they knew it was Pac was because all the fans,
girls,
Pac. They was just.
They also
around
said the motherfucker Pac was out of the sunroof or some shit.
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
part of the shit down the strip,
but
just out of the sunroof.
But they said they didn't see Pac. They saw all the attention around the car, so
And
they
they
just
did a
going out.
U-turn.
Yeah, they just going out that night just to see him. Maybe we could look up and see him, and just think about all that juice he had. Think all the love he was getting, bro. That you could actually literally find him.
I'll say this.
What was said was that the dude who called it, I can't think of his name, but the dude that called it, that got the money from Puffy, gave them a gun and told them that they're gonna be down at 662 tonight.
And see, I don't believe that. I'm saying I don't. Not that I don't believe that he didn't like offer them some guns and say, "Hey, They had guns. You Crips from Cali going to a fight in Vegas. They had guns.
Unless they flew in. Now, had they driven in,
they
would have had their sticks. Yeah,
I think they drove. I think
they did.
Drove.
It was a rent a car. Somebody.
Oh yeah. If you drive,
rented the car.
You're driving because you're bringing contraband and sticks. If you're going from LA and you got money.
And I don't know if it was Orlando that actually shot.
That's what they said. They said the other dude was like, no. And
yeah, one of them said no, but it could have been Keith.
Shot
the
over
other
the seat.
Yeah, of course.
Could have been anybody because Keith, you know.
But there was a phone conversation that they got. You could probably find it online too on YouTube.
But of course, they're gonna put it on the dead man.
Well, Orlando's talking to his boy. I think it was the same guy that was involved in that shootout when he got killed. That actually took all the murders and is in jail for life now. But he was talking to his boy, and he was like drunk or high on the phone. They got it on tape. Him like, yeah, cuz I let off all the shots, you know. I tried to get he's talking about Suge, yeah. So it probably was, you know, I'm probably 99% it was probably Orlando. Because of that tape. Him saying, otherwise I would have been like, it's somebody that was in that car. Whoever it was, who knows. But he on tape.
Kids, if you are gonna snitch, I'm gonna give an O.J. Simpson move. I didn't snitch, but if I would have snitched, you blame it on the dead person. Right? You bear that in mind. You notice they blaming every damn thing on King Von, even the city of Chicago.
That's the city of Chicago. It's convenient. Like, you know what I mean?
They closing so many cases for this dude, man.
But you know what's really fucked up?
Not saying he wasn't about that.
They didn't close. They still ain't closed Biggie or Tupac's case. They saying they know who did it or whatever, but they haven't officially closed it.
Well, Pac's case, Biggie's case, they probably won't close it because all they want to do is be able to prove for the civil case. You don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. You just got to prove this is the person most likely to have done it. So they can care less about closing that Biggie.
Either of these cases, because the witnesses are corrupted. They they feel like they can't get it.
Yeah, the Pac case, the Vegas PD don't care, but they can still get Keefe D. So
yeah, but they like
get him.
It's gonna be on his own words that he was there, and he's a felon. They could get him. But he's still going around. He's still going around saying this shit. It's way beyond the agreement that he signed. You know what I mean?
Well, no. The agreement was, from my understanding, is anything that he testified with them couldn't be used against him
in California.
Let me finish.
Yes, in California.
Let me finish. The agreement was anywhere it can't be used. Same thing with O.J. Simpson.
That's not what they said.
Let me finish. Just please let me finish. The issue is that in California, the issue is that he's running around copying to it on podcasts. He didn't have any protection from admitting to it anywhere in the world. He had protection from whatever he said to those police and those investigators could not be used against him. They did not say, if your dumb butt goes out there and talks to people publicly about this case, we can't then use that against you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. We're saying exactly the same thing. He had
that's what I'm
agreement
saying
with California. And even in that agreement, he had agreement with them about that. All this talking on the other way, and California
can still convict him.
He didn't do shit in California. He did it in Vegas, and that's what they were saying. The problem is with Vegas.
So he didn't need an agreement with California then.
No, he did.
Well, he needed the agreement because of the drug case he had. So anything he said, they couldn't fuck with him on. So he talked about the drug case, and he talked about that.
The drug case was for the Biggie case, though. See,
correct.
So,
and they were saying that whatever he said, whatever he copped to,
or his
the police during their
for that
investigation,
Biggie case
could not be used against them. They could not
Keefy
turn that
D
over.
was
They
not
could
the
not
Biggie
turn
case.
that information over.
No, you're missing what I'm saying.
They could not turn that information over and use
that
it against them in any investigation. In other words, they were sworn to privacy. They couldn't use any of that he testified to them.
Facts.
They couldn't call Vegas and say
facts. I got you. But
all right, but let me
talk about
answer.
the podcast and all the dumb shit that he's done after.
Correct.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. That's what
Nobody
we're talking
agreed
about.
to that. That's what I've been talking about. And that's why I was saying, let me finish.
And I was saying that agreed 100%.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is with Keefy D, the whole reason that they got him on tape was not for the Tupac murder. The whole reason they got him on tape on that agreement was to clear the LAPD from that civil lawsuit from Biggie's family, his estate.
The whole thing was for.
That's why that's what it was for from the police department's perspective.
Correct.
That's all it was for. It wasn't for Tupac. He had to tell that story because, just like when they get mob people, you have to tell everything, just like when they did Alpo. You have to tell every murder you did, because if it comes up again, that can be held against you. Your agreement is out the window. They can tear it up. So he had to tell everything from that point leading up to the Biggie thing, so they could clear their name off of that civil suit. Now, he can still be charged by the Las Vegas Department PD, regardless.
Based upon all the stuff he's saying,
yes,
correct,
facts.
But he couldn't. They could have never been charged for that he gave in that testimony.
No, that
same thing that happened with O.J. Simpson that people can't understand. Not O.J. I keep saying him. Bill Cosby that people can't understand.
Yeah,
you cannot
make an agreement,
testify against yourself.
And
in this
then,
country, you cannot. Your words cannot be used against you unless you're being made aware of it.
But here's the one thing you got to remember. That's a state case for the state of California. The state of Nevada isn't bound by that. So if they wanted to charge
the state of California,
they couldn't use that. Once he go on that podcast and say all the shit he said,
right?
That's where he's liable.
That's where he messed up at.
They can't.
That's
use
where he's
the
liable.
They can't use the actual testimony that he put on that recording for these
but
people.
You're saying but they can start investigating.
They can, yes,
to find other information.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
I mean, but why they don't even need information? He's telling it.
They know it. They know it already.
He's going publicly because he had a misunderstanding, I think, of his deal. Probably didn't have a lawyer involved, and we're unsophisticated.
LA is probably, I mean, not LA, Las Vegas don't give a fuck. Otherwise,
don't
they would
care.
have got him. They
They
would have
would've been
grabbed
done
him
got him.
on the first fucking podcast.
He going around doing these
Stupidity
podcasts,
has you have
making
to
money.
control the controllables. Stupidity has so Las Vegas may not care now, but you can get some wacky
At some point,
person
you're right.
who wants to make a name for
The
himself
same person
and come
like-
after your black ass,
like the
So
person
point
that
I'm
did
making
Bill
is-
Cosby.
Right. So the point I'm making is stupidity is stupidity. The person who tried to do Bill Cosby, but Bill Cosby didn't go publicly and cop to the stuff that he
At
was
all.
talking about.
He
in that
never
private
copped to
thing.
anything, actually.
Correct. But he didn't go publicly and say none of what he
Nothing.
said in that private deposition. He didn't go on podcasts
No.
and interviews and discuss what was
But
said
I was
in that
just,
private
I
deposition.
was just talking about a motherfucker that decides that he's going to get somebody. That prosecutor ran on getting Bill
Correct.
Cosby for this. So
and you'll get one like that in Vegas that
right.
we finna solve.
That's
the
what I'm
Tupac
saying.
murder.
That's what I was agreeing with.
Now,
I'm like,
Bill Cosby, he does have to worry about another state trying to charge him because that was
He
only the
don't.
state of that was the state of Pennsylvania that he was charged in. So he can get charged in another state.
Well, no, I think the statute of
He's
limitations
not.
had ran on all them other
all
cases.
them cases, man.
Yeah.
That was just
But
bogus.
They extended the statute of
now-
limitations
now,
before
if
they
it's
tried
out-
On
to-
that.
That was
if
really
it's out
crazy.
of the statute, that's a different thing.
But that was
But
really
what I'm-
crazy.
That's
Diesel.
what happened. They
They
were
extended the statute of
bogus.
limitations
It
and
was
then
just
went
bogus.
after,
Right.
which
But
violated ex post
but
fact.
that's my
ex
whole
post
The
facto.
dude ran on that. He ran
Yeah,
on that.
we-
I'm going to
yeah,
get
we
Bill
know that.
Cosby. We're going to
Yeah.
undo this, all this. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that. But I'm
The statute
saying
of limitations is out on the man. Those cases, man, they talking about he was giving Quaaludes. Man, they ain't even made no Quaaludes since
But here's what I'm saying.
90s.
Ex
no,
post-
he was giving Quaaludes though. He
That was
admitted
in the 70s.
it. Right, he admitted it.
That's what I'm saying. It was in the 70s. They ain't made none since the 90s. How do the statute of limitations is out on all of that.
Right. Well, 70s and 80s. He was doing stuff in the 80s too now. he was
Statute of limitations over with.
right. I don't know. I don't know what state.
And
Like I
he
said, I
he
don't know what
said-
states he was charged.
He said he never gave nobody nothing without telling them. You know what I mean? So that's the
I
whole
don't
thing.
believe
like,
that. I don't buy that.
in the 70s? I don't know, bro.
In the 70s, man,
And
they
80s.
stuff in the drink. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, hey man, you might, I got a popper. You want a popper? Yeah. But if you dropping them in the drinks and stuff, nah, you ain't telling them.
I don't think he's dropping them in the drinks. He never said nothing about dropping them in the drinks. He said that under his deposition that he got convicted under and all that. He said that he gave them knowingly, everyone, and had consensual sex.
No, because if he would have said that he had consensual sex and that they approved of whatever he gave them, he wouldn't have been able to get convicted because they're agreeing to take this stuff and they agreed to consensual sex. They got him. They were saying that he was doing it without their knowledge. Wasn't that the whole basis of it? That he gave them stuff without their
The
knowledge.
deposition that he turned in that they used to convict him said that he never gave anybody unknowingly gave them drugs and had consensual sex with every one of them. They used the testimony of one woman because the rest of those, all those women came out, but they used the testimony of one woman.
So
yeah, that's weird too.
all right,
Why
enough
they
of
use one woman?
the roofie talk. Y'all can talk about this for another 4 hours. All right, listen. I wanted to talk about ex post factos. This is what I was trying to get into. So the Constitution, when we were talking about, they extended the what do you call that? The statute of limitations, right? So what's going on? There's a attack on the United States Constitution. So I had always remembered this from 8th grade. A law that makes illegal an act that was legal when committed increases the penalties for an infraction after it has been committed or changes the rules of evidence to make conviction easier. The Constitution explicitly prohibits the making of ex post facto law. So what I'm saying is that this, to me, when you have a person that committed whatever crime it was, and then you extend the statute of limitations, and then you go after that person, I think that should have qualified for ex post factos. Now, I'm not a Supreme Court. judge, nor my lawyer, but just give that some thought to my thinking people out there. So it's like changing the rules or moving the bar, moving the goalposts, you know, as you're going through life. So that, to me, case was tainted from the start.
Yeah, I would agree. In principle, but something that a lot of people won't recognize or say, but we've not been living under the Constitution since the Patriots Act came. That's why it's been egregious things against the Constitution, like completely against the Constitution, that is allowed to go on, because the Patriots Act usurped the Constitution, and that's what we're living under.
Well, that's why they're trying to keep this meaningless war going, but that's a show for another time. So, man, if y'all want to just give this a quick, Diesel, you want to give this a quick wrap-up statement, bro, and then me and Self Love are going to close out the show. You know how we do. Is he here? Yeah, he's here. Yeah, wrap it up on Biggie, man.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just tough, because I would have liked to see how it would have been had he, you know, lived longer, for sure. Not just him, but, you know, it's so hard to mention him without mentioning Pac, you know. And even though this is just on him, yeah, I would have liked to see how it would have turned out if he would have lived, you know, longer, you know. One of the, you know, it's such a short body of work, man. Actually really glad he did do a double album for that second one, because you got more material than what, you know, we would have just had two regular albums for his catalog, and that's it. Yeah, but definitely, I mean, if you think about it, when he passed, I mean, literally, like, the eastern side, the East Coast, in regards to hip hop, it really went into a downward type thing for a while. It was like a huge void, a void. I mean, probably not as massive as it was on the West Coast when Pac died, but it was a nice void there.
Man.
Yeah. Just man. Has anybody ever? How old would his son be today?
Man,
we never see or hear anything about him. I wonder if he raps.
I saw something. Yeah, I saw some of him rapping.
Yeah.
Look it up, Google it, look on YouTube.
Is he any good at all?
What I heard was decent.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't hear much. Let me just state that for the record.
Well, he's a fighter?
No, he rhymes.
He rhymes.
Yeah, I think I did see him on YouTube talking about something. Talking about people talking recklessly about his dad's case or something. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know how old he is, bro. And so you're satisfied, I guess, I take it, with who murdered him. And then you were saying that he should have came to LA at that time, definitely. And if he was gonna come, he should have been on some In and Out, huh?
Yeah, no, he shouldn't even came.
Wow.
I blame a lot. He not, like I said, I stand by a good 2 to 3 years before you go west of the Mississippi from the time that Pac died.
Tori, we said it. We said it then in real time that if he goes to LA, he's gonna be murdered. I know I said that, bro. Because I knew how I felt. I had nothing against that man. I knew how I felt, right? And it was like, even though I felt like he had nothing to do with it, it was like,
yeah, you know,
he had to go because there was
stay at
that,
home.
again, it was that smug though, Self. It was that smug I keep telling you about. I don't think they were trying to do it. They had a certain smug, man. They let people think, I don't know if something about New York, they'd let a motherfucker think they killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? Rather than say something. Nas be doing that too. And I'll be like, man, no, y'all need to get out of here, man. And you know what I'm saying?
I would say
it comes off as smug.
To me, man, between 60 to 70% of his death is indirectly to blame on Puffy.
Of course.
Yeah, that's facts. And CJ
Higher.
Wallace is 24.
24.
Same age as father, dad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to YouTube some of his music. Does he sound like same voice?
No.
Does he got that nasal passage of his rhyme flow?
Nah, he's gonna have to eat a lot more Twinkies for that. Y'all gonna understand. Rest Biggie. So he was a big rapper, man. Oh yeah, you're right, Wakil.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check him out, man. But yeah, Puffy, man, he plays such a big. I really felt he could have been the main diffuser of a lot of the stuff that escalated. He could have reached out to Pac maybe when he was in jail. So many different things.
But see, because Puffy wasn't from the street, he just didn't understand. And I remember we were talking like, man, these New York cats must move different or think different. He should have spent all his money on security. Like he should have been moving like 6ix9ine if he was gonna come out here, Diesel. You know what I'm saying? Like for them days or however long, like Self saying he was living here. But for every time you had Biggie out here and doing whatever they was doing, they should have had 6ix9ine type security. Should have let it be known we got an army out here and ain't nobody moving through the light. If we all ain't making, why is he in the front car? It all smells funny, man.
Off-duty police officers, which that's pretty much what you would have needed at that time.
Ex-military even.
Yeah, something that's legally able to be armed. That's really on it and deep.
That's trained for stuff. Like now, you got people coming home, bro, who might have been in the Navy. They've been fighting these wars. They know how to move through cities and garner you a certain type of security. And if you need that, bro, you just do it for that week.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost you $300,000, but Biggie ain't dead.
Like they say, Dr. Dre for years now, when he moves around in LA, he be having off-duty police officers with him. You can't really get to him unless you're gonna shoot some cops with it.
Correct. And if the cop shoot you, the cop gonna beat the case.
Right. You butt naked. you ain't getting out of that, buddy. No, sir.
Hey, bro, we appreciate you, man, doing this, bro. We
for
don't,
sure, man. For sure. No, it was fun. I like to change and get the info and absorb stuff because you always hear stuff you don't know and you give people stuff they don't know, absorb it,
And we all lived our own experience. And Diesel, Self, we're gonna start a series with like ways, entrepreneurs, ways to make money, alternative ways to make money. And I don't want to release the topic yet, but Diesel is going to be the first in the series. I'll talk to you about it, man. Yeah. So, ways to get it though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Legal ways.
Yeah, legal ways.
Outside of punching that clock and so
entrepreneurial.
Yeah, yes sir. Something you don't have to necessarily have $1 million to start out. Just where you can,
get in where you fit in and build from there.
Man, side hustle money, and maybe your side hustle become your main money one day. So,
yeah, when we get into it, watch. It's gonna. If people can grasp it. I mean, it's so man.
We set the date. What date did I tell you? I told you the date.
You told me December 1st.
It's on a Wednesday. Yeah, but we set the date. So we'll get it out. We'll get it out and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, but all right, bro, man. We don't kick no silverbacks out.
Respect.
Man. Yeah, I got
all right, for sure.
Executive producer in my ear, and we're not talking about Diddy.
All right, I'm out.
All right, fam.
All right.
Yeah, so man, I don't know. Everybody's discounting, man. Well, Scooter chose. I had my wacky conspiracy theory, man, and Scooter was like, "Nah, Mills," and then he was like, "They was on some hating stuff from the label," and I'm like, "What?" Because I had went back and listened to it. I'm like, "Well, that's just what I'm talking about." See, substitute the word rapper for the N-word and substitute the word label for the gang. You start seeing where I'm going with this.
I mean, what's separate between them?
Correct. You see. Yeah. This is our theory. 187 bars. 187. That's the code for murder. 187 bars. So that's our theme here. So rest up, Notorious B.I.G. We think these two gentlemen have solved the case. What they said is acceptable for me. I watched the videos that they have watched, did some of the research, and seems to make sense. But what say ye, Self?
It's still harmful and hurtful because there's no justice. They don't close the case. They should at least say what they feel happened, even though the people that are involved are past. They should not be cold cases. I mean, I think the families deserve more.
The closure. And they did. But see, so if there's a law, you can't convict a dead man. So if they can have DNA evidence on you that you murdered 1 million people. And if you off yourself before you get convicted, you're forever innocent. That's just what the law says. You die an innocent man. It's the Constitution.
Case. That's all. I got you.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
So it's touchy that they can't, it's iffy that they can come out there and do that because a dead man can't defend himself.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Got that part.
Yeah.
Got that part.
But I hear you.
But
and he did say,
family's still alive and those people are dead. You know what I mean?
But I'm sure they got the same information we got.
Yeah. No, they already knew.
Yeah.
According to the author or whatever. They'd be like, oh, yeah, thank you for telling us, but we already knew that.
Because, see, now they run a risk if they go public with that, then now, just say if one of those alleged killers was my family, I'm going to sue their ass for another $400 million.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sue them. And I guess they say we're going to stay away from that. And lazy Nevada don't want to do nothing. The state of Nevada.
Shit. They wipe their hands clean all day. What happens in Vegas?
Stays in Vegas. Yeah, that's little Chicago.
That's right.
That's little Chicago. But they usually get offended, though, man. Like when something happens on Michigan Avenue or something happens on the Strip. Chicago's got its limits.
Yeah, because they show solve the FBD, duck.
They're claiming there's no
situation.
video, bro. They are claiming that there's no video. Like
They're lying.
From stores. They have to be lying.
They are lying. They've got video.
They're saying that these stores, they said all
that's
the
how
stores.
they got these guys. That's how they got these guys.
Well, they said all the stores' cameras.
Oh, no, it ain't. My bad.
No, it ain't. They said all the stores' cameras were pointed inside towards the store.
Okay.
Because think about the community they're in. That all the people were lulled into a sense of security that they had no need, quote unquote, for cameras pointing away from their building.
Outside, bro.
I'm just saying that's the story they gave.
Bro.
So when you saw him, you never saw a video of the shooting. You just saw the aftermath, and that was people with their cell phones.
Yeah, they got video.
That's what they're saying. Self. I mean, I don't believe it either.
I'll just say this: they have access to all of our devices. Any device that you're on.
I think that's how they allegedly got the alleged.
Yeah. They have all everybody's device. That's what Eric Snowden was putting forth, and the person that wrote the programming to get all of the information of all your devices and put them together in one place has come out and said such. And then they backtrack. They say, oh, well, we need his phone records. So they subpoena the phone records.
Or
we need his email. We subpoena his email.
And they could tell who you're with.
Yeah.
That's a bigger thing, and so
all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Just by what he's saying, tracking your movements, you with 2, 3, 4 different people, and they might not know his phone number, but they know the people who he's communicating with. So they'll start tracking them. And then they'll be like, well, who's this guy? That
everybody that's aligned. So that
Yeah.
Everyone that you've ever made any contact with through your phone is on your profile. And the government has it. They have your profile.
Yeah, because YouTube and Gmail, what's the G stand for, Self?
Google.
Government.
Same thing. Google, government, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there in our face. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're all owned. I think Facebook was just saying how they ignored all of the attack on the Capitol.
Man.
You know how many other crimes?
They're about to change. They're not going to no longer be a what is it called? God.
Social media
network.
platform.
Social media, social network, social
So
media.
what are they going to be?
A metaverse.
What is that? What's the difference?
The difference is a metaverse is a place where you can reach the internet and gather a whole bunch of information.
So they're creating their own internet.
So they're basically changing the name and changing what it's called, but it's still going to be the same damn thing.
I was going to say, or they're just getting on another network, another internet. Right. Because there's a dark web.
Well, there's a www, but there's also an AAA.
Yeah.
There's a BBB.
Yeah.
The CCC, all the way through the alphabet. And funny how they named it the World Wide Web.
Hey, but
internet.
Yeah. Get you all entangled.
Yeah.
Windows.
And
Windows
web,
are transparent.
Web and a net.
Windows are transparent.
It's all put together. All those people were put in place.
Facts. All facts. So, man, we had our riddle. Nobody in the chat, as usual, solved it, as per usual. What disappears as soon as you say its name? What disappears as soon as you say its name?
Silence.
Silence is violence, people. Silence is violence. You see something, say something. I'm not telling you to be snitches, but telling you to talk to the people.
Man,
and talk.
Snitching, you already know, people got snitching all messed up. Snitching is not getting justice for your people. It's not just talking to the police. Snitching is when you go out and do a crime with someone, and then you get caught, they don't, and you tell on them. That's the definition of snitching. Now there is, soft snitching or whatever you want to call it, or
Dry snitching.
Dry
I also
snitching.
say, if it's a movement going on and you turning the guys over, that's you see, once upon a time, the social organizations, the gangs were productive members of society.
Yes.
And when you were snitching on them, you were turning them into the Gestapo. You're turning them into the government. Once upon a time, they would, stop people from sticking up old ladies and kids and, stuff like that. That's what the gangs did. And they would clean up, have the younger ones be cleaning up and taking graffiti off of the wall and talking respectful to the elders and things like that.
And
so
fighting the race warriors.
Correct. Yeah. When you got those race soldiers, turning people into the race soldiers for things that could have been handled within the community is 100% snitching, in my opinion. But I definitely know what Self Luv saying. Somebody's doing fuckery in the community.
My cousin was murdered.
You gotta handle
y'all know. I testified. That was not snitching. Facts.
You gotta handle it one or two ways. You know what I mean? You gotta handle that one or two ways. In Chicago, oftentimes it's not handled in the court.
Facts.
So yeah, Self, you did, and rest in peace, man, to the saint. Big ups to the saint, and condolences to his family. Self Luv, but next week, man, we got my boy, Mr. Briggs, coming in the building.
Oh yeah,
yes sir, yes sir. CEO type. He's going to be launching, something huge. A platform you were just talking about, internet and stuff. So. I've been sworn to secrecy, so I won't break down any details till I make sure it's a green light. But as far as the show, yeah, that's what we got.